Check. Welcome to the SPS Podcast. You are now tuned into the Raw Bunch. I'm your host, DJ Strata. My Raw Bunch family was good with it.
What's up? What's up?
What's good with you? Muted, Bino.
What's good, y'all?
Bino, what's up with you, buddy? How you been?
Oh man, I'm here. You know. Now I'm doing well, man. God is good, man. I'm glad to see y'all. My beautiful. I love both of you. I'm good, man. We here now. You know.
That's what it is. You heard me, Brittany.
Look at here.
Renee.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all ain't going to be ganging up on me. Let me go and put that out there in the atmosphere, okay? I make it look like I might have to try to hold it down on my own. So, look, cut me a little
We're gonna
slack.
get you some reinforcements. We're gonna get you
Yeah.
some reinforcements up here, man. We got a couple people pulling up a little later. But yeah, this gonna be one of them shows, Britt. This gonna be one of them shows, Brittany. I'm gonna tell y'all how we got here. So this topic will be about the Rubik's Cube of women, unfiltered questions that women need to answer. So I'm gonna tell y'all how I got here, right? About maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I was on the phone, right? And I was talking to somebody. I was talking to actually one of my homeboys and one of my homegirls, right? And what I found is that the problems that they was bringing, it was literally like both of them was saying, I don't know why the opposite sex don't act more like the sex I am. And so it's like, damn, people are frustrated that the opposite sex don't really process shit the way you do, right? So that started my thought train. And I was like, I like that. Let's try a show on that. I was trying to put this shit together. I'm like, yo, there's got to be a better way to get this conversation had that gets us results. So I was like, cool, let me break this shit up into 2 different parts. So part 1, we're going to dive into the mentality of women from the perspective of men. And then part 2 on Monday, we're going to do the exact opposite. So we're going to get some questions that the ladies have for the men and see if we can kind of get to the bottom of this shit. You know, we're going to bridge this gap of misunderstanding and we're going to get straight to it. So on the menu for the night, we got accountability and self-awareness. We also got sexual dynamics and femininity. So before we get to any of that, Bino, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being women are all the way accountable, 1, they don't give a fuck about nothing. They ain't trying to hit no accountability. It's bullshit. Where do you think all women are right now on this scale, bro?
Accountability, 10, they are very accountable. That's the highest accountability they can get is 10, and the lowest is 1.
Yep.
And we're talking about majority of women. I don't know majority
Yep.
of the women. So majority of the women that I have came across in my life, I would say 3.
3.
I would say, I'm trying to be fair for real. I think 5 too high. Could that be half of them and the other half? Now I was less than half, so I'm gonna say 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, I
Why you
say
got him
3
at 3?
because it's less than half for sure. So
And
I
they said it
wanted.
was 4.5.
So you saying like the low number that I just picked means they're very not much accountable.
Yeah, they're not
It's
accountable.
closer to not giving a fuck, right? Yeah, 3, less than half.
Damn. Okay. What makes you think
And
separates?
when I say the women I came across in my life, I'm talking about from family to friend to shorty to the shorties. I'm talking about less than half. So I had to put
3.
my family in there and some friends in there to make it 3.
Damn. You take them off the board, what it look like?
1.5.
Oh, my
Damn.
God.
Why you think it's so low though, bro?
Because they don't give a fuck. That's what 1 means.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I mean, all right, jokes aside, let me go ahead and start doing this show. All right, listen. So I think Brittany don't start, Brittany, because
You
CJ
see my
coming.
face.
CJ is coming. Me and you don't do it. It's you and CJ. So we would just wait on him. Just wait on him. I think honestly though, I think a lot of women are less accountable than they would normally have to be if the men played their cards different. A lot of women don't have to be accountable because a lot of men don't stand for nothing. They'll fold for anything. You know what I'm saying? And that anything is the box and a smile. So it's like why would you have to be accountable for your actions to me, right? And show me accountability if the next dude is not going to give 2 shits about you be accountable or not. Because it's funny, I'm not even trying to bring this to the conversation, but I just realized from yesterday into the day before yesterday that majority of men actually submit. We are the submissive ones. At first, I argued it down for 2 days until I really processed and heard of a few different intelligent people that I deem as intelligent. And until I put their perspective together, I'm like, yo, they kind of right.
That ain't
So
what
the answer.
happened.
So excuse me, I'm sorry.
I think we
Am I lagging?
No,
Or
I
she
think Brittany froze. She
okay.
froze.
Okay. You froze, Britt, if you can hear us. So I think people do things they don't like to do because they have to.
Okay.
So if accountability is something that nobody really wants to claim because it's accountability to some type of fault, right? So people really are not cool with admitting faults. So if you're not put in a position where you have to do something, you don't do it.
Damn. Okay. So let's walk down the premise that you think that men are submitting to women. Why do you think that shift happened? Or do you think it was always like this? We just didn't recognize it.
It probably was more so like this, and we probably just was some brilliant Medusa type of person, probably tricked the rest of life to think that we ran shit. Because look, 48 laws of power is for me to make you think you the boss when I'm really the boss. That's one of the 48 laws of power.
Yeah.
You do all the work, and I'm gonna take credit for it.
Never outshine the master.
You know what I'm saying? That's one of them. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them type things. And I don't think most of us knew that consciously, but I think it's just a perspective, right? I'm not saying this is law, but you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you really, really dive deep into your brain and think about it, majority men are the ones that are submissive. And I think they're submissive because the fear of losing something, right? Women are very dear to men, regardless of what they think. So even when they're at fault, much as majority of men want them to be accountable, even when they don't take accountability, we still deal with them. So why do it? And if they know that, regardless of them taking accountability of a fault or not, if they know we're still going to deal with them, I'm talking about we as if I'm that person in that situation, if you that person in the situation, or any other man, if they know regardless of I'm being accountable about, he'll be pissed, he'll blank, he'll flip a couch, but he ain't going nowhere. Why be accountable?
Damn. So there's no incentive for the women to be accountable.
There's no incentive.
Why they lack it.
There's no incentive.
Okay. I can smoke a bag of that. That makes sense.
It's that gas, bro. You feel me?
I can smoke a bag of that. Brittany, what you got? 1 to 10, the women around you, friends, family, women out in the world. 1, they don't give a fuck about accountability. 10, they're completely accountable. Where are you putting women on the scale?
First of all, I'm going to clear this up. Women, we can do no wrong. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. Just cut the cap. We're going to end this right now. We don't do no wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, let's go and put it out there. But seriously, I was going to say about 5, leaning more towards 4.
Okay.
For accountability.
Why you got it that way?
Because let's think about it. Who really wants to hold themselves accountable? Nobody wants to sit in their shit and had to understand what they did wrong. It's so much easier to blame or put the thing, you know what I'm saying, as someone else. And when I used to teach school, I used to tell my kids all the time, when you point a finger, you got 4 fingers pointing back at you, bro. Like, so you need to be focusing on yourself versus trying to figure out what is the problem with such and such. Start with you first. So nobody really wants to do that because now you have to sit in and own that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for a lot of people. So the people that do are or will hold themselves accountable, to me, they're the ones that either are healing or already healed because they ain't about that toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where that for, going towards like Bino said at 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Because that works for them and they still get the same results by doing that.
Okay, so if you're saying the ones that have done the work that are healed or doing the work, what percentage of the women do you think actually fall into that number? 10%, 15, 20, 45, 100?
If we sent out of 100 people, how many would sit in the accountability part of it? Yeah, about 10%.
Damn. Fuck. But all right, so my next question would be, as a man that, if that's the odds that we're working with, what do you suggest men do?
One thing is, hold that ass, speak to the fire for one. You know what I'm saying? And recognize if you see something, speak on it. A lot of time it goes both ways. A lot of people will be like, I ain't gonna say nothing about this. And then as soon as you don't say nothing, you create an amount out of molehill. Like, you don't have to come at nobody with no rah-rah shit, you know what I'm saying? Because delivery is definitely key when it comes to most women, you know what I'm saying? Most
Yeah.
people don't respond to that. They shut down. And see, when they shut down, guess what? Nobody taking accountability for anything.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. That makes sense. You still ain't answered my question, but it's cool.
Okay, what? Sorry. What was it? Sorry.
You cool. So my question was, what are the men supposed to do about
Oh, okay.
the women ain't being accountable, or with such a low percentage? What are they supposed to do?
All right, what are y'all supposed to do? So if it was, let me try to put my sister in the shoes right now. So I mean, like I did kind of answer. I said y'all got to hold
You did.
$65. So
Put a
like,
piece
so
in
what
there,
I
yeah.
guess what I mean, like when it's something happens, you just say, hey, babe, we need to have a conversation about this. I felt this way because, or you didn't do this after I asked such and such. You know what I'm saying? We can't have this. We need to be on one accord. So communication is key for a lot of it. And then once you communicate and she's still not doing whatever you want or whatever it is y'all having a disagreement about, baby, she ain't the one for you. You shouldn't have to keep saying the same damn thing over 2, 3 times. He or she is not your child. You know what I'm saying? So they know right from wrong. So clearly, if they're choosing to do something completely opposite after you know express to them, I prefer this or that, baby, don't ignore them red flags you waving. It ain't fuchsia. It ain't pink. It's time to look. You know what I'm saying?
Look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. I feel it. Jalen, what's up, love?
You know, she a busy young lady. She probably still moving and grooving.
You know how she do it. You are in the show, Jalen, and I know you're gonna come off mute at some point. She probably running around. I'm not gonna say what I think she probably doing, but shout out to Pimp J, man. She in the building. You heard me.
I got a
I got some reinforcement. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a perspective for men on that.
What you got, bro?
Um, I would like to say, the reason why I think like I haven't thought this because of this, but I do want to give a shouts out to our guy Arnold, right, the gambler spirit, and the reason why I say shouts out to him because I think men should have a bit of a gambler spirit when it comes to something like this, a risk reward thought process, right? So you
Okay.
take the risk, make her suffer, right, starve her, whatever that may be, whether that's financial support, whether that's good old stigmatization, whatever it may be, starve her, and hopefully with that risk you take, you will be rewarded where they see the light. You know, so it's a risk and reward thing. But the thing about it is, it's definitely not a fail if the reward doesn't transpire back to you because you just learned that person won't for you no way.
All right. So here, I'm question to that scenario: is that in the beginning or is this after something?
Okay. So this is the extreme after different tactics of communication, like you said, because you're absolutely right. You
Okay.
know,
All right.
don't be irate about whatever that you feel they have fought about. So yeah, communicate them exactly like you said. You know what I'm saying? Like sit down, try to find different avenues of communication that she can receive a little better. Which once again is a man, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? And for to see if that accountability will come. But if not that, man, you got to man take have a little gambler spirit, man. How a risk and reward type of idea, man.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
I like that. Jalen, what's up, love? Let's try it again. Let's
Hi.
go. How are you?
Good, I guess. Yeah,
You guess?
okay.
I like that. I like good. I'll take good. So, same question. I'm gonna shorten the scale for you though, Jalen. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being women are very accountable and self-aware. 1, they don't give a fuck about nothing and they ain't trying to hit shit nobody's saying. Where would you put women on the accountability scale? 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
3.
You say what?
3.
3? Okay. Why 3?
Because I feel like women become more accountable over time. Well, most of us.
So it's a timing thing. Huh. That's interesting. What age do you think that women start to grow into a level of accountability?
I'd say like the child when most of us start thinking about having children.
Okay. So you thinking
I'm
what?
gonna
Late
disagree.
30s,
I'm gonna say mid-30s.
mid 30s?
Yes.
That's kind of the range I was thinking about.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say kids. People start having kids in their 20s, so that's all I can. I don't want
Yeah,
to
we
go
think
far
about the
with
ratchets. We think about
that.
the ratchets, Brittany. Regular people, about 30. You're right. Sound about right. And before I go any further, CJ, what's up, Brody?
What up? My audio good?
Yep, you good. You good. You good. 1 to 5. What you giving them?
Oh, what was it? Accountability. First off, what up, fellas? Dino, Strata, good love,
So
good
my
love.
boy.
Brittany, Jalen, Giovanna.
Hey.
Over here cheesing hard as hell in that damn corner. Crazy. But 1 to 5, accountability and being self-aware.
Yep.
I don't want to be an asshole. I'm gonna just say 1.
Why you say 1?
Because for the most part, for majority, I would say of their life, they really don't take accountability for most things. Growing up, they don't have to. They're not being forced to. They're not being trained to. Then by the time they actually become more so into adulthood, it takes being put on the shit end of a stick where they feel like they have to. They have to be put into a position where they have to take accountability of something, but they don't have to admit to it. Like for example, if they have a kid, shit don't go right, but there's probably a big chance that they were the cause of the reason why shit didn't go right. You think they're gonna blame themselves for that? No, but they're gonna take the shit end of the stick in society's eyes, which means they have the kid, but they're gonna get their get back one way or another, which means causing the chaos as a mother, which society's gonna make them out to be the bitter baby mama or the shitty baby mama, whatever the case is, because society do. Which sometimes, unfortunately, it's true that they do become that. Whether it's it is what it is. But the self-aware part, I think it's damn near the same response we give for accountability. A lot of times they don't have to be self-aware; they're being protected by society. Their delusion that they have is being fed to them to the point they're convinced of it because nobody's telling them otherwise for the most part. So they don't need to be self-aware of stuff growing up. So by the time they become into adulthood, if you were taught the same thing or you was in the same group of people that was taught the same thing throughout most of your life, when you become an adult, do you really need to feel anything different? No. It's no different than us as men being taught, oh, you don't cry, you got to be tough, you got to do this and the third. We get taught a certain thing that by the time we become adults, if we run across a man that literally doesn't think about none of this shit, we looking at that nigga like, nigga, you soft, you weird, what the fuck? Okay. Same shit. You see what I'm saying? So them lacking self-awareness, I'm not going to say it's literally not their fault. They're just simply raised into it. In most cases, society has put them in a place where they can be that in the most cases until they become adults and until they get into a situation that they probably were partly the blame of it and that they have no choice but to have some form of self-awareness. But they try to, how ladies like to convert our words to mean different things. Women empowerment. No, you fucked up and now you got to deal with your consequences. That's all that shit is.
Okay. There's CJ, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ Bazemore. It will be
I'm trying to be chill today, man. I'm still hot. I'm still hot. So
for sure. Giovanna, what's up with you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. 1 to 5 accountability with women. What we doing?
In today's era, or
Yes.
when? I think now it's kind of hard to gauge it because all women are not the same. Just want to put that out there. So some women take accountability early on. If they learn many lessons, and there are some that still learning some lessons. So that's why it's kind of hard to gauge it. But I'll say roughly a 3.
Okay.
Roughly.
Okay.
And I say that to say I think it's just because when you get those group of women that's in that, some that's still learning, some that already learned the lesson, those lessons learned. So that's one. That's why I said a 3. But they're trying to figure it out in that case. So that's why I said it's a 3 in there. They're trying to take accountability, and for the women that already like went through it, at that point, I think for some of those women, it's a little bit easier for them to now take accountability for that because they ain't trying to go through the same stuff over again. So if that woman feel like she can go ahead and take the accountability of whatever that man or maybe even herself may see that I ain't do this right. Maybe I could have did it this way. She ain't trying to go down that road of negativity or trauma or anything else. She's trying to build and move on. But then you have that younger woman that's still trying to learn, a little bit. And maybe she may be a little rebellious, take accountability, but sometimes in that process, it may take for that man or maybe a friend or someone to say something to her to see stuff from a different perspective for her to take that accountability, whether it's therapy, friend, cousin, or whatever. That's why I landed in the 3 area.
Okay. So out of 10 women, how many of those you think are actually accountable in the world? If I got 10 random black women, how many you think would be accountable?
Just 10. Just 10 randoms.
Why they gotta be African American? Jesus.
Because we a black
because
pod.
we
black
up
folk.
here, we predominantly black. We date predominantly black, so we don't want to speak outside the ethnicities.
Yeah, 10 black women. How many out of 10 that you think are accountable and self-aware?
I don't get no. Self-aware?
Yeah, accountable and self-aware. I think they kind of go together. But
no, she may be self-aware. Now, whether she said accountability or not, maybe a little different.
Okay, let's do accountability first. Yeah, that's fair. We'll separate it for you. 10 black women, randomly, we picked them out. How many of those you think are actually accountable for the things they do?
Maybe 4 or 5, maybe.
Okay.
Don't try to start moving the goalposts up to 4 or 5. You said 3 out of 1 out of 5. So out of 10, yeah, you're right. That is about 4. Okay, yeah, let you slide. But don't 5 going too far.
I need a little bit more facts, a little bit more background for that.
Okay.
To take accountability, because sometimes taking accountability, you got to swallow your pride a little bit, and some men and women have a challenging time with doing that. So.
Now hold on, now, Javon. Now this is what I'm gonna do.
All right, I'm going somewhere else.
No, you cool. Today we will not mention men in a way of shifting. Now we will talk about dynamics that will include men, but I want to save that for Monday. So on Monday, guys, when we talking, we're not gonna do that, but the lady shit. You feel me? We're gonna let them ask their questions to us, and we're gonna give them the context. Everybody cool?
Gotcha.
Here we good?
I ain't cool with it, but we good.
My bad.
Okay, Bino. See, that's why I fuck with Bino. I was about to say I ain't cool with none of that. But
I mean, I'm gonna go with the boat
for the sake of the pod.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the boat, man. I'm gonna stay on the boat.
Too, yo. All right, so here's the actual question. I'm gonna do this one round robin style. Y'all are all intelligent, beautiful black people, and I don't want y'all to keep giving the same answers and shit. So if you got something new to say, you can pop in, right?
Trying to sandwich us with this.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna do the 1-by-1 thing. I think that was a pretty good opener. But my question on the floor, anybody can answer. Why is it so hard for women to take accountability? Why is it so hard for women to take accountability based on the numbers we just all said? And go.
We don't want to be seen wrong. We don't want to, like I said, own our shit. That's just point blank simple.
Look at Brittany. Gross.
Shut up.
Nah, what y'all ladies be doing? Ain't that it?
I don't do that shit. I don't do
Is that something new? What is that, CJ? Brittany,
I don't know. Some shit I seen. I think it's like clocking or some shit. I don't fucking know. That's Jalen. She a baby.
That's Jalen. She a baby. Why not though? Why is it like? What does that do? Like admitting that you're wrong. What does that actually do?
Admitting that you're wrong, meaning that you fucked up somewhere along the way. Don't nobody want to know that they fucked up. We want us to be seen as we can do no wrong. So it's just easier to blame someone else. Well, I wouldn't have done that if you ain't do this. I wouldn't have done XYZ if you didn't make me feel this type of way.
I got a question for Jalen. Jalen, check this. You with it, Jalen? In a woman's mind, when they be saying that shit to us, I did this because of that. Do they really be knowing, or do they really believe the shit they be saying to us? Like, what's going on in the brain? That's what I'm trying to get to. What are they thinking when they shoot us the shit? Is it I know I'm on bullshit and I'm just fighting for my life in this conversation, or is it I really believe what I'm saying to you right now? Which one you think it is?
Wait, so repeat the question.
I
There was a
got you.
lot of nuance.
Yeah, it was. So
Yeah.
check. A woman and a man's arguing. The woman got called dead to rights. She
Yeah.
gives her response. I only did that because blah 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 blah. Right? In her mind, does she know she fucked up? Does she take accountability in her brain, or does she really believe what she be saying?
It's a defense mechanism.
But are they aware?
That it's a defense mechanism that they're.
Yeah. Like, are they aware they're doing it?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I feel like it's human nature is fight or flight. So at that point, she backed up against the wall, so she got to do what she got to do. So that type of awareness come like, I'm gonna say this. Now, granted, if she was full aware, if she did do something, go ahead, Jeff.
Most of us become hyper aware of judgment when we're very young as women. So that constant like being under a microscope can lead to you just being fully defensive, even if it's just open feedback. It could sound like you're just criticizing her, so she'll just be defensive instead of maybe admitting she was wrong.
Damn. All right, I got another follow-up. This one's for you, Giovanna. Do women take accountability silently? Like, are they just doing this shit and we ain't seeing it? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, after y'all had an argument, you caught her ass dead to rights, right? When she go back in her little corner, does she be like, damn, I really fucked that up? Or do they really be like convincing themselves, yo, no, I like my argument I said to this nigga and I'm gonna stick to it because that actually makes sense? When they by themselves, is it silent accountability?
From what I've seen, not speaking on experience all the time. However, during that time, that woman probably trying to figure out what else she could have said to you in an argument. Like, they probably called you out to say that. I've seen that. But I think there's sometimes when the woman do take accountability, once she's by herself and had time to calm down. Because once you're in those heat of the moment conversations, especially if y'all start hitting below the belt, but then whatever the situation is, some people go below the belt and they just keep going. And then like that, man, I shouldn't have said that right there. That really would set them off. Now, will she come back and try to, apologize and repair what she said and stuff like that? That may or may not happen depending on what type of women that that you're talking to. But it's gonna take a lot.
Which one's more likely to happen? They may do it or they may not. Which one you think happens more?
I think if if you're in a communicative relationship, that woman may come back and say something. It may not be the way you want to receive it, or because at that point you probably still pissed off, or you be like going on with that BS, or you may be still in your feelings or whatever. So it may not. She may not say, "Oh, I apologize," but she may say something to go back and resurface that conversation to let you know that, all right, maybe I should have said this different, or whatever the case may be.
Okay. I got it. Bino, the bullshit detector. You have now been designated as a bullshit detector for the day. These women, they're giving some dope sounding answers. If this was an SAT, they'd be making some high ass scores. And honest English, they'd be A students and shit. But I need my bullshit detector to come through. Bino, where we at in the bullshit meter, bro? Facts.
I really ain't gonna hit the meter too much on bullshit. I just right here on this one, I just think how all women are, they like to make shit sound good and sweet. Because it's kind of I got a kind of similar sentiment. It's like Jalen and a little bit of Peaches as well. But it more so put me on the mind on just this particular dynamic. Women are not children, right? Women are not childs, but I think in a relationship with woman and man, in this particular dynamic, is almost like the same reason why we don't take accountability with our parents. While we'll go all the way around being wrong, while we sometimes make up things, sometimes we don't remember things, sometimes we act like I don't know because, and this is the part that I agree with Jalen of the judgment part, right? Because most and that and for that part, and the other reason what I said earlier is not really caring enough because uh what your parents gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll be mad, but they're still you still gonna be their child. You got them parents that are still gonna buy you go to the mall. You got them parents that still gonna go to Walmart if you run to them and order that from Amazon. So that too, right? So that's the part what I was saying earlier where I kind of answered your second question in my first response, right? But just putting it in a different frame is like, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost kind of I think whether it's I definitely know I definitely don't think it's consciously for them because consciously they're not looking at us as their father, of course. So please don't misconstrue what I'm trying to say, but just that feeling or thought of why we don't be accountable when it comes to our parents catching us going wrong.
Okay. The
Like
mentality is the same.
I feel like it's that same feeling for them.
Yep,
You feel what I'm
that same
saying?
mentality. That makes
You
sense.
said
The dynamics are different, but the mentality between a child knowing that there's no true consequence and a woman knowing there's no true consequence, the mentality is the
That's
same.
one dynamic because you got that type of parent, but you also got the parent who, like what Jada said, you'll be judged. You
Mhm.
might even be scolded more once you admit your wrongs, right? Right? It's almost like you got some parents that'll rock you to sleep just so they can get on you even more, right? So it's
I
like it's so that dynamic of reason why kids don't be accountable to their faults when it comes to the parent. Just that you, any of us could think about the whys and put that into this question. Whatever, however, was that the reason why we, you know what I'm saying, for each of our parents. You feel what I'm saying?
let's go Brittany and then Giovanna. I think Brittany came off the mic first and Giovanna put her hand up.
No, I was just gonna say when he's saying that, does that mean it also goes back to the man to a certain degree? Because you seem like the parent don't
We're
remember.
not doing that today. We're not doing that today. Remember?
Okay, I'm just saying like it just made me think about what you said. I'm like,
You
wait
can,
a minute, that kind of makes it seem like
I'm
it's
gonna say no, but I can't explain it to you until Monday. So just
okay. All right,
we'll
we'll
write the
table
question.
that. We'll table that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
my
that.
nigga Bino goddamn sniper out here. Pew, no, stop that shit. he caught that shit real quick. No, bam, nah, wait till Monday. Wait till Monday.
What you got, Giovanna? And I see Jalen coming on mute. What you got, Giovanna?
so Bino, I'm listening to your perspective on that, and I like the way that you worded it, for as like the parents and the difference in that not putting it on the relationship. But there are some relationships where a woman is in. I would say for me as a kid, look, I had to take accountability early. I had two siblings, and I knew I set it off.
Mhm.
However, I'm out at the end of the home itself. It wasn't me. Outside of the home, I'm my brother's keeper. So, but inside the home, just like, well, I had to take accountability if I did do something early on because I ain't trying to get beat to death. Or, whatever case may be, I ain't trying to get hit with a God knows what in our household. Uh, so in some relationships, that's why I said I'm trying to kind of stay on the
Okay.
train of
So
who's
so
on
so
towards
so, so
that.
I could so you're landing at 3 that you said, right? You're 3 out of 5. 4 out of 10, I think you said 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, something like that. But the reason why, which is I agree to CJ, is because like CJ say, majority like his sentiment when he first came on is that majority of women have no reason to start from a very early age, right? So you would fall in that 4 in my perspective, in my opinion, because it'd be opposite of why CJ said, which I agree that's would be I include that into an agreeable thing with me of what he said, but you'll be opposite of that, or maybe why you or some relationships as you spoke of women that do that early because you had to do it early. You had to be accountable early. You was trained to be accountable at a very early age. But like he said, majority of young ladies are not coming up. So
Okay, so the point I was trying to get to was the point of there are some women that are in abusive relationships. So that woman know that she's gonna be abused
mhm,
in that relationship. Somebody may go upside her head or whatever. She
mhm.
may be a little bit more accountable. It behoove her to be a little bit more accountable in that relationship versus somebody going upside the head or whatever. That's the point I was trying to get at as far as that.
Yeah. So like I said, so we could think of any reason of why kids don't be accountable with their parents. You can include that
Yeah.
abuse.
I was
Okay.
about to say it literally just sounded like it took abuse for you to want to take accountable accountability because you acknowledge that if you didn't, a left hook, right hook, ultra combo is coming your way.
Oh, you talking about a relationship?
No. It was vice
Oh.
versa. I think she was saying.
Oh,
You know
I
what
was about
I'm
to say,
saying?
honey, you get shot.
Yeah, it's vice versa. It was vice versa.
Get it off
It
record.
was vice versa. She was just speaking of some might not be accountable because they know the abuse will come behind it. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So yeah, so right, absolutely. So I'm like seriously when I said like because I ain't want to list a whole bunch of different reasons
Mhm.
of parenting skills, but when I thought of say you that's any one of us can think of any reason why, and I had included that in my head as well.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Let's go, Jay. I think Jalen came off the mic, and then we'll go Brittany.
Oh,
Okay, Jalen was coming off the mic. What you got, Jalen?
I think I'm just about to repeat what Bino said, so I think I don't need.
Gotcha.
I don't think I. Yeah, no. Never mind.
For sure. Brittany, what you got?
We still talking about what the accountable. What's the question again? To make sure I'm on the right one.
Oh no, you came off mute. I think while Giovanna was speaking, or it might have been.
I was just being ready just in case I need to add on, pat her on the
That's
back.
what I'm
That's all
talking
that was. Yes.
Thanks, girl. Thanks.
Venus.
Funny. What's up, Venus? What's good with it? Let's see. I think we can shift gears. Now, this is where it's gonna get a little tricky. And again, for all questions, I need y'all to blame CJ Bazemore, that's located right beneath me. I asked him in our core group, and so these questions are solely his responsibility. And we appreciate you, CJ.
Sidebar. I don't know why. Somebody said in the Discord they thought I had veneers. These are not veneers. They're not. They're mine.
Nah,
It's
he's
called
gonna
good
get me
hygiene.
he get finished. You feel me? So like once he get through, what he going through, me and him talk about that shit. Cause I ain't giving up, nigga. I'm giving a smile back. Fuck with what CJ talking about.
I'm just waiting for him to graduate so I can get my veneers. I already talked about that to him last year.
That's
I told
crazy
him-
work.
I told him that last year. So I'm a year later still waiting. He getting there though. He giving me the updates, let me know he passing his exams and shit. So he must ain't forgot.
Bring my fucking beard.
That's
Anybody
funny.
playing with CJ? I need the discount, big dog. So the next question, we can do this one round robin style too. I want the ladies to start off first, and then we'll get to the fellas, right? What are characteristics today from today's women that are keeping them single if they want to be in relationships? Because I don't want to include the women that are just single because they just single. We're talking about the women that want relationships, that are moving in the world, that aren't getting the results. So let me be very clear. What characteristics do y'all think are keeping them single?
If I'm gonna go first, I'm gonna just say this. For the ones that may want to be in a relationship, because of the era that we're living in, they may not be approaching the men. A lot of men now want to be approached, so they may be single because they're sitting back waiting for the man to do the job, and it's not happening.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Talk
fellas,
your
y'all
shit.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. Dang, I'm sorry. I gotta wait. We missed.
We gotta bite our tongue.
No. I just realized we missed a comment Mel made, bro, and that shit hit me. But I'm gonna wait because we moved past that already. But go. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, you good. What else you got, Brittany? Holy shit. She said being smart. That is a characteristic that's keeping women single.
Venus.
Venus is cocked and ready to go.
No, I agree. I agree with Venus' comment because that's vice versa as well. Swear to God.
Yeah.
Right. And also you got some their categories might be they're too nice because some men they want that rah-rah shit. They don't like nice women. That's yes. Cover your mouth, CJ. It is true. Y'all don't like nice women. No. Y'all want someone to talk smack to your ass. That's what you want.
Brittany, as much smack I talk to you, where is the proof of evidence of me shooting my shot? Like, it's not happening. No.
I'm talking about you want. I'm saying some men want women to do that to them. It ain't
Yes, Brittany. How many times in the past did you used to shoot a fucking rifle at me from 30 yards away? And I was like, all right, bet.
that good. We don't like each other. It's for the
Yeah.
ones they like.
Who knows if that's supposed to be the new thing? Some girls just do that shit to be flirting. Oh, big-headed ass nigga. Like, they just start dumb
I ain't
shit.
never called you big head. Y'all know the key words that women throw out there. I ain't never said no big head, so that's what I'm saying. You know how they do it.
Who
Hold on,
next answer
are
this
you
question?
doing,
I ain't
Brittany,
trying
are
to hear
you
Brittany.
doing trickery? I feel
It's,
like
what I say in the beginning, Strata, women like to change up wording. Next person.
yeah, I don't know. The more we walking down this path, I'm trying to remember what was the characteristic for number 2 again, Brittany? Can you remind me?
I said it's too nice.
They're too nice. That's why. Okay, got you. I'm all right. We tracking. We back on the right. Okay. You got any more? You gonna start
Not
there?
right now. Yeah, I'm gonna start right there.
That's what's up. Giovanna, what characteristics are keeping women single today?
I mean, I think
Don't say it. Tell them. Let the Lord know you don't.
Man. I know I'm in school for dental, but I ain't pulling teeth yet.
okay, CJ.
That was fly. That
That
was fucking. That was fly, my nigga.
Let me see. Characteristics are keeping some women. One, there are a lot of women that's making more money than men. So trying to be with a man that you're making more money than, that's a little challenging sometimes. The kids situation, if a man have a lot of kids, some women don't want to date men with kids. Of course, you have the whole height thing. You have it's a few on the list.
Ooh, she
So you said that's standard. So
She
that
said it.
standards are too. I ain't gonna say too high,
You know what
but
She set the taboo.
That
Jesus.
that last one
I'm
wasn't
not.
even a characteristic of the woman. That was literally talking about the man.
I mean, if he's too short, then that's.
There's
Oh, you
that's
talking about
one.
characteristics of a woman?
No, but I wouldn't even
It's
say it. You talk about the
characteristics of
man.
the
Do you
woman.
know,
You
like
literally
the?
just named two things that was about the man. One about kids,
Yeah,
one about his
but
height.
but I ain't even. I missed it that time. I'm glad you caught it. But at the same time, the reason why I said she did it. Oh man, the new campaign that's going on against the
That's
women
gonna
that's
happen with that.
shaming short men is building. You'll see later features about.
I'm
Right,
big.
I'm not guessing
J-List.
not
shorter
you,
men.
not you. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, them pop the balloons, boy. Them niggas be getting exit out for their height. It'd be rough. It'd be rough to look at how they respond to that shit. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just saying, boy. I seen a new taboo trend that's
Not
about to
Melly
happen.
Mel.
Melly,
I
Mel, what's
had
up,
a slow
brother?
moment.
What's up,
Characteristics
y'all?
of a woman that's keeping
How
her
you?
single.
Yes, that's what this is about.
I'll get back to you in a
Gave us
second.
two things about niggas.
I got you, bro.
My bad.
Yeah.
Had a slow moment. Characteristics of women. I think the success. I think that's still a good one. Her success. Depending on if she have multiple kids, that may be something that's keeping her single.
Can you tell me how the success is keeping women single?
So, I thought I had mentioned it before. Sometimes if women are making a certain dollar amount, some men feel like they have to make more than that woman, and if they're not making more than that woman, then some men try to move around her because they ain't trying to deal with that. My bad, sorry, comment. They ain't trying to deal with that, because of that man may feel like they're gonna be butting heads in the house.
Well, I'm gonna just say what Peaches dancing around. Most time a woman is successful. Sometimes they become this alpha person, and then they got to stand there. Look, you ain't gonna come up in my house tell me any kind of way because I make money too. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a little harder for that person to submit or do whatever because they have been doing it this way for so long. So there we go. I see it.
I appreciate that, Britt. Now we had the
Hey,
context.
Brittany, what are we doing today, Brittany?
I like
today.
Fuck that little damn thing. I don't like that.
What are we doing today, Brittany?
I like
Brittany
that.
got her a little sneaky link. That nigga been knocking some coins out of some. What the fuck going on with Brittany, bro?
Oh Lord.
God
But
damn, Brittany
I think
talking
also
today.
don't do her like
Some
that.
she got some common sense. Shout
But
out
then
to
like
whoever's knocking them coins loose.
The fuck up.
TJ, we
really.
I
look
see
not
that.
too much of her. But I think like another thing is like if a woman's too loud, men don't like. Well, I can't say I'm not a man. Some men when I see it don't like a loud woman. Like she's just loud for no reason, loud and disrespectful, or just
Mouthy.
Brittany.
Okay.
Wait, take me away. Brittany.
I'm just saying the word mouthy. They mouthy.
But sometimes not really just mouthy, but just like loud. Like we just
Right.
walked into the restaurant. Well, everybody don't even know we here. Just like,
Damn, boy, that's a good one.
Okay. We getting somewhere.
I'm
Jalen,
gonna
what
stop
you got?
because pick me on my top. Look.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
we
can hear you.
Um, I can do obvious answers because I feel like men already know the answers already, so I don't know why we doing this. Um, but I would say from my own personal perspective,
Mhm.
am I bringing up?
No, you
No,
good.
you
Are you
good?
good?
Okay. I like my peace too much.
Wow. Okay.
Men are not
Mhm.
as easy to deal with as they think they are. They are very complicated sometimes, especially if they have baggage and trauma.
Damn.
So it's a lot to be in a relationship with a man like that. So I like my peace. He don't want to accept me as I am. He's always trying to change me and make me something
This
that
shit
I'm not.
kills me how
And
this
sometimes
question
I
is
just want to
about
be with a man that's, you know
characteristics
what? I accept the
of
ebbs and
women.
flows of who you are, just like I want you to do with me, and we gonna make shit work. But no, that's too much like right.
That's why
So
he should. That's
I
why he should
usually
have.
choose my peace.
That's why he should have did the men first, CJ.
Like because I don't know if we've noticed this.
No. I could have
Because
said
the
she's too
answers
loud.
are
She don't know how to cook.
literally,
yeah, exactly. You know all the answers. So why would I say an answer you
going
know?
at the men.
No,
That's
I'm
not even
not.
a
I'm not going at the
characteristic.
men. It's the truth.
Wow.
There's the truth, and then there's answering the question. We say
What are
we're talking about characteristics
characteristics
of the
today that
woman,
keep women
and they
single?
literally
She likes to be
keep going at
alone.
the man.
That's a characteristic. She likes being alone.
Then just say she likes being alone. Not you like your peace because man. It instantly went to man. You could have
No,
just said
I
you could have
said
said, oh, a reason why characteristics that women are antisocial. They like to be alone. No, you literally said,
antisocial
oh,
is
I
a
like my
negative
peace
thing.
because a man. As soon as you did that, it not and void the whole entire conversation.
Damn.
Okay,
The moment
she
you said
likes
a
her
man.
peace. She's a peaceful person. She may not like to deal with people's problems. I don't know what
Okay,
adjective it's for, but Jesus
that's
Christ.
cool. Okay,
Y'all
that's
know what
cool.
I'm
We
talking
got
about?
short-term memory loss. We don't forget the other shit. We erase the other shit. All right,
No,
we'll
I ain't
work with that.
forgetting nothing.
We'll work with that, Jaden. We'll work with that, Jaden. Don't get caught up in it, Jaden. We'll work with that.
Because
We'll
when
work with
Monday
that.
comes, we gonna get
We
our
got
ass
two
shoot the
more.
moment we say something.
We got two more, CJ. We got two more.
God damn, boy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. All right, so Jalen, let's walk that down with the peace part, right?
Please don't. I don't want to trigger people.
You don't want trip?
Just
Oh
skip
God.
my answer, bro.
Got you,
Just skip
got you.
it.
Melly Mel, what's up, Brody? How you?
What's going on?
Chilling. How's everything going with you, bro?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. I'm breathing.
Hey man, that's always a plus. That's one more day on this side, not the other. You heard me.
Hey,
Oh,
all
yeah.
of us had about the same sentiment about today when you asked us, man. I'm gonna do some extra sage tonight. All right, I'm going.
Everybody, the energy.
I mean, not sage, basil or something. Oregano.
Basil.
Basil?
Basil's hilarious.
No.
We
Oh,
gonna
y'all
put
having a
2
bad day?
leaves.
Everybody
I'm
energy
good.
seems. Yeah, I saw.
I'm a little.
We all answer like whatever.
I'm a
That's
little
how we all
irritated with
answer
work
it. Like
pressure.
Oh, mine was
Mm.
good. Okay.
that's
Hey
good.
Mel,
That's good.
I pray for
what
y'all.
you think about women and accountability, bro?
Accountability.
Them
Like-
being accountable.
Like back to the comment I said, Bina was supposed to bring back up.
Yeah,
It's like they don't know. Well, for me, it's like they don't have the humility to like actually take the stand to actually. Damn, I did that. Damn, I ain't think about that.
Oh,
or or they're like naive, or I would say green to the situation, knowing it's wrong.
okay. So you think, because I asked the ladies earlier, I was trying to figure out whether when they're processing what they're going through, I was trying to figure out whether in their mind they thought they were wrong or whether they were naive. You think they're naive. You don't think that they're aware that what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah, because if you got a moral compass, you know, people feel
Women,
guilt. People feel guilt like it's like it, like it hurts your stomach a little bit, or
Uh-huh.
like you're like, damn, like it make you think twice,
Okay.
no.
or
So
So
don't
or
feel
or
guilt to people you care about.
women, women. Let me give
that's
an
just what I
actual
think though.
answer.
Okay.
Women,
Sure.
I mean actual answer because my last answer was just being toxic, and I apologize. But women,
Oh God.
Let's
I
go, Jalen.
apologize. I don't want to mess up y'all show being
Oh, nah,
weird.
you good. You can't just
So
you good. Turn up.
women know when they've went too far. They're just gonna commit to going too far because they're already off the deep end.
Oh shit.
So I don't know why men continuously continue this cycle of saying that we don't know. Because I'm gonna tell you we do. We just choose to
Right.
commit to doing the act
Damn.
and
But
double
why
down.
though? But why?
But
Because
is
Because
it that we wrong?
the enablement that
But is it that are we actually wrong, or are we just not in line with to what they think is right?
I think
Both.
you can tell when you've gone too far. I think you feel it in the pit of your like you feel when you've gone too far, but you're already too far. So you might as
Right.
well
I
keep
guess that's
going.
that leading with emotion type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So um and what also fuels that is the enablement of gender roles that women are emotional, hence men have to learn how to deal with those emotions instead of requiring the woman that they're with to be more emotionally intelligent and in tune with herself. You'd rather just find a way to skirt around her emotions and do that than actually teach her or at least get her to see that she needs to improve that part of her personality. That's a big problem. Like even when we're children, a lot of parents tend to enable their daughters to be emotional creatures because why? We're women. Instead of actually saying, oh, she's a human being like everybody else. She needs to learn this like everybody else. So let's instill this in her and teach her how to be a productive human being that knows how to control herself.
Okay.
But
So you
no, we
think
stick to the gender role conversation.
uh, so you think accountability happens or should happen earlier and it's reared in you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Damn. So what does
Kind of
that
agree
correct
with that.
look like, Jalen? I like that. What does that look like? Because I got a little young
When
daughter.
they
What does that look
do,
like? Mm-hmm.
so I'll speak to my experience. So when I was young, I wasn't a bad kid. I got into things because I was bored. Um, that's what I did. So when I would get in trouble, my mom wouldn't let me sit in the consequence. She would try to save me. And she did that constantly. And when I turned 18, I did something really messed up. And my mom was, again, always there to save me. And frankly, I got tired of it. I was like, Mom, let me deal with this. Like, I know I messed up. Like, I don't need you to come and save me. This. She's like, no, like, I don't want you to. And I'm like, Mom, I can deal with this. I got it. I messed up. Let me front. Let me, deal with the consequences. A lot of parents are like that with their children, and I think that's not healthy. I think sometimes you have to let your children fall on their face, especially when it comes to women, because there's not going to always be a man there to save us. We're not living in that type of society. So we need to have those masculine, quote unquote, traits that some men don't like us to have in order to, you know, be a productive human being.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Venus, what's up with you?
Hi, people. How you doing?
What's
Good.
Morning,
up?
Going
Venus.
up.
Everything cool.
Okay, I wanted to speak on my comment about being smart. Like I really wasn't being funny. So I think the smarter a woman is, the harder it's going to be for her to match with a man. That's why a lot of times you see a woman who on paper, right, everything looks like she has a lot going on. Um, those women typically are single more than least accomplished women because I think you have to be a level of naive, honestly, to be okay with the shit that men do. Like the smarter you become, uh, the more obvious certain things come to you that other people may not. They're not privy enough. They don't catch, or they don't have like the I don't know, like the confidence or the self worth or whatever to find those things problematic. So they'll just deal with it. But it's like the more like mature and smart somebody becomes, they have like a lower tolerance for certain things, especially when you remove that needing you aspect, right? Like the person who doesn't need you financially doesn't have to just deal with any and everything. And so those women that are more successful usually have a harder time because they don't need you. So they could just kind of like see it for what it is and decide like, yeah, I don't really like I'm not pressed.
Okay,
So
let's
I
follow.
almost feel like the the worse off a woman is, the better she is for a man. Low key, I really feel like that.
So I got. Oh, I like that. Let's follow that logic train, though, Venus. What do you think most women believe they need men for? Let's start there.
What do most women believe they need men for?
Yeah, we talking about relationship.
I want to say like companionship, obviously, protection, sex, um, and provision, right? But again, what I say, like the least intelligent, least accomplished. A lot more men are going to be appealing to her because what is she comparing him to? Her. She don't have nothing or next to nothing, right? I really do. I'm starting to understand when the men say like the girls with the degrees and stuff. That's why they have such a problem with them. That's really why. She don't necessarily need you the same way, and you guys like to be needed.
Hmm.
I think we I think we still need men. I think those women who are hyper focused on that one aspect of their life tend to compartmentalize men as just being more of a financial need. Because you need emotionally, we still need men.
Yeah, I said
That part doesn't.
companionship first. Companionship was the first thing.
Right,
Sex,
but if
companionship.
yeah, but if we know the companionship piece is still necessary, and those women still know that, then you should still be able to say you need a man.
No, I'm not saying they don't need them. I'm saying like it. I guess I thought the question was what keeps them single. So I'm not saying they don't need. I think we all need each other, right? But I'm saying one of the things that is a problem, from my perspective, in terms of pairing, is that like there's a link right between like the highly successful women and having success with certain types of men,
Uh,
and even men in my life tell me like the quote unquote masculine men, they straight up say they don't like them type of women. Straight up, they don't. They like docile, do whatever I say type women. They'll tell you themselves that they don't like those women either.
Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. I want to respond before we go too far, right? Because
you
you
got.
could try to ask an extra two questions. I wouldn't be able to respond to this. So listen, I weirdly enough agree with her, right? And and Jalen, right? And the weirdly enough of why I agree is because it's vice versa. But let me explain, right? Times really affect people. Change really affects people, whether we realize it or not. At one time, it was a certain archetype of women I was coming across. Very, it was that I recognized I was coming across. I ain't gonna say it was few and far between, but the ones that I recognized I was coming across, right? Um, I wasn't quite smart enough and mature for. And when I say I ain't gonna even say smart, I always been smart. But so I say mature, um, outside of book shit, right? I say mature because smart always been there, right? But I say mature outside of book sense, right? And it was fine. I was coming across them, but they still college women, degree women, smart women. They still had attributes that the new smart women, right? Because we was at a certain age, when we talk about our age range, that the new quote unquote smart women that Venus talking about, they became smart. They became older outside of book sense, right? They became more mature, wiser, aware of niggas, but they lost attributes in the process of learning. They lost other attributes, right? So now today, right, as I matured, as well as smarten up even more, vice versa, I agree with her because there's a lot of women who, though you smart, I love smart women. My mama's brilliant. Brittany know that, CJ know that, Peaches know that. You feel what I'm saying? She's brilliant. I've been raised by brilliant women, right? But the women that's not even as brilliant as her, or just as brilliant as her, don't have the attributes my mama and my grandmothers have.
The softness,
You
right?
feel what I'm
That's what you're
saying?
referring to. So okay,
It's not even particularly it just like I say, society changed shit as well as we help it change. Like we go with the program. So if you want to say softness, I'm scared to say softness because I don't even want it to be received the wrong way. Because my mom ain't soft neither. She's a
no,
gangster.
I'll say it for
You
you.
feel what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying it.
She a
I'll say it
gangster in
like
real
the
life. You feel me?
softness, like femi. So I don't. Okay, well, let's pause for a second. As a
Mhm.
woman, I don't think it's an insult to say soft, right? So
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
say
that's why
that.
I'm too scared because you say soft is an uproar
Yeah,
these
like,
days.
no, I
You feel what I'm
get you.
saying?
Okay, so femininity, right? That'll make you feel. Is that a better word?
That's
Like,
cool.
okay,
Yeah.
so I see what you're saying. The women who are super ambitious, you lose a lot of your feminine edge because you're pursuing, right? Like
Mhm.
you're in that masculine energy a lot.
Mhm. And
And
then
if
and
you,
then adding
yeah,
on to that, because y'all can be smart. Say for instance, you got a man and woman that's just as brilliant mentally. We still gonna win over them on other things, right? Like strength, like brute, like just leadership qualities that a man possesses that unfortunately a woman can't. But they're not unequal. They just got other attributes that we don't have, right? So, but when it turns out into the man's world that we live in the society that we live in, if you got two brilliant, smart, ambitious people, sometimes being that the woman's been so trained up to Venus age and Brittany age and Peaches and then what Jalen going through right now at a young age, when you come across a man that you can't chunk being smart, they feel intimidated by that because they so used to being smarter than the men or more point than the men, like Venus is talking about, that they be dealing with.
Hmm.
Hey, so I'm gonna jump in real quick. Um, okay, Vito, let's
Now I'm being that
talk.
serious. Let's talk. Let's
What
talk
she
about
did?
it.
What she did was doing?
Let's talk about it.
But no, I'm glad that you said that because Strada, the question that you asked, what most women want or need, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I still think the ball is still bouncing over here. I think and I say that because I think a lot of women are still looking first for financial support, of some type of financial leadership, or some type of financial security in it. Right now, the good thing is that we're going into a lifestyle that us women are starting to make a decent amount of money, which is a great thing. And at the same time, just because we're making it, we can't be selfish about the money that we're making. Not saying that the women that are making that a decent amount of money, they're being selfish. Because you may have the some that are making that, and they still looking for a man to pay for everything. Because I hate when I see women that feel like they're entitled to that man to pay for everything. I hate it. So I said that to say, like, when Bino just last this comment, far as trying to like cover the cost, or the woman being smart enough, or yeah, you have your companionship, you have all this other stuff that women are looking for. However, I still think with most women, it's still some type of financial hardship that they're looking for first. Yeah, we want companionship, sex, and stuff like that. However, it's still a good percentage of financial support or some type of financial, oh, I got your back type thing or something like that. That's most women are looking for first.
Okay,
Is that
I can
bad?
yeah. So
Hmm?
what you
Is that a bad thing?
No, she read my mind. I was gonna ask, is that a bad thing?
I,
Because even by our fathers, we're taught he still has to provide. We weren't taught, oh, you have all this money, so you need to, circumvent that financial, you know, requirement.
Right. So I guess I understand where you're coming from. As far as that, I'm not gonna say that's not a bad thing. Just for me and mine, just me as a woman in general, I try not to depend on nobody for no one else. For me, for nothing else. So just because I'm with this man, and or I ain't saying with this man, or just because you could be at a single point in your life trying to make stuff happen without a man. And if your whole approach to life is, oh, I gotta look to a man to provide something, then you can be out here trying to be, Philly Willy, Philly Nelly, or however you pronounce it, on your own. So therefore, if I come with my own, I'm good to go. Now, if that man wants to pay for some stuff, because I will say I've been in a situation, man want to pay for everything. It's cool. I take that money, invest it for us and somewhere else. If we happen to split, all right, this is the investments that we have in it. But some
do
women
you
aren't thinking that way.
do you think that
Wait,
you're the exception in thinking that way, Giovanna? Do you think you're the exception of women thinking the way you just proposed that? Do you think that's the exception, or you think most women think the way you do?
I know most women don't think the way I do. Cut,
You said they do or they don't.
cut that off. Hmm.
Strata,
Yeah,
please. I gotta say something,
Yeah,
please.
I got you,
Because
Venus.
she's saying you shouldn't depend on your. Why not? Why should you not depend on your man?
Oh, good question.
So what happened if that man gets sick? He can't work, and I had to carry the household.
Right. So depend on somebody doesn't mean sit back and do nothing. But you kind of saying it like, wait, hold on, y'all.
I think I see where she's going. I think Jalen kind of asked that same question, like, why is it a bad thing?
I'm not
Uh,
saying it's not a bad thing to not to have some type of expectations or whatever you communicate with that man that man can do. So you want to probably want to establish that first, what that man can or cannot do, or what that man can or cannot provide for your household, for you to even be in that situation. So I'm not
That's why
saying
we gotta
that. All
care about
right.
his money, right? But that's why we have to care. Like if I'm trying to long term be with this person, it would be dishonest to say that most women aren't gonna assess financially where he is to some degree, because it would be in your best interest to know. It doesn't mean you're depending on him. You need to pay for everything, but you need to understand like what he's capable of.
Right. So I definitely agree with you on that point. We definitely want to have that conversation about finances. And that's the hard, I would say hard, but in most households, those are one of the most challenging conversations to have. If you're a couple, a lot of people don't want to talk about credit, they don't want to talk about finances. It's a lot of touchy conversations and that's top tier of one of those spots. So of course I'm gonna know, all right, if he's working, yes. How much money we're both bringing in, how much money we're saving, what's expected for us to put forth for this household. I'm gonna know all of that before I'm trying to pursue anything serious with you.
I think I think a lot of the mentality of women, like you said, that are striving. I think that there's a common thread of tunnel vision. I'm not gonna call it delusion, right? Because we're talking about women that are getting to it, so they're focused. But I think that tunnel vision skews the total view, meaning you on your path, you doing what you're doing, right? You in your bag, you in your lane. I think that earlier when we were talking about women making so much more, like we got to keep it real. Like the average black people, we not making no more than 50, 55, and that's men and women, right? So I think that sometimes you'll get tunnel vision on your own path, that when you look up around you realize that what you were doing, I don't know if it was as um
Lucrative.
I don't know if it is, I don't know if it's as meaningful to bring to a relationship as we think it to be when we're talking about women. I think that they see value and I think that's cool, but I do think that having realistic expectations uh can help you get better results.
Yeah.
And you can still, like you said, consider everything y'all said. You know, you can find a man that makes decent money. You know, I can see what I can do with that, blah, blah, blah. But I do think that having that tunnel vision can fuck you up when those blinders come off. You go back into the dating pool because you've been working so hard on yourself, and you look up, and I think that it can kind of delude how you see men and the value they bring to you. Am I off?
No, but because
No.
even with considering that, absolutely. I mean, you're not off. I agree, but considering that too, like, I think all what y'all said could be true, right? I think like a man wants to be dependent on, first of all. So when we act like it's crazy for a woman to depend on us, we fronting. Because the average man, if he's in the right position, wants to be dependent on by his woman. Now the key is, if things was to go left, for that woman to be capable enough to take over whatever the hell we got going on, like what Peaches said, we would see. The also key is that I think it get to a point where as though it we don't give grace, maybe respect, maybe even enough foresight to understand that regardless of the willingness, it's still a life change for both. It's a life change that now I got to depend on you. You've been depending on me for 10 years. Now I got to depend on you as a life show. Now, even though even though I'm able to take over, because I'm an interdependent, I think, or independent person. Even to take over, it's still a life change for the woman to now have to be dependent on. Which both go because the circumstances are not naturally. So I think people don't express that the right way, communicate the right way, communicate that the right way with each other. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just on the social mental aspect of all y'all perspectives. And I'm considering with everything y'all said too is absolutely a thing too.
Yeah, just like you said, bundling it up. Scam,
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
what's up, brother?
What's going on?
Dust.
Dust as usual. You know the drill.
So when you're going through that process, it's easy to say. It's easy to say. I can take over. I'm independent, or I depend on my man. It's easy to say that, and if something happened, it's easy to say that, but it's easy to say a lot of shit. When you're going through that process, watch how shit change and hit you different. Then
And
it was so easy to say. It ain't gonna be easy when you're going through it.
the man that you can depend on is everything. Like that's very, very appealing. That's why I was trying to understand why she was saying like you don't depend on like the man you depend on and he shows up, you hold him at a very high regard because most people are not dependable, right? So he's like extra important now because he is.
Okay, that's a bar. Do y'all agree with that sentiment? Do you think that women that have the mentality that the men they depend on is super important, do y'all believe that to be true? Y'all agree with that sentiment?
Yes,
Say that
I
again.
do.
Yeah, I even agree with it. And
Okay.
well put too.
For the most part.
Say that again.
So for the women, do you agree with the mentality that the man that she depends on that's very important?
Mhm. Right, yes.
Okay. So I thought CJ was. I don't know. I ain't know whether he was about to give a response. He might be playing Rubik's cube. I don't know what he doing.
You said for the women, so that's why I ain't say nothing.
Oh, okay.
Your very first thing was for the women, so I
Clear.
was like, all right, if it's for the women, then
Okay.
I ain't gonna respond.
I like it. Now we're gonna get into the weeds. This is where the conversation's gonna get a little tricky. Y'all know I like to throw some curveballs in there. You know. Let's see where this goes. Again, we're gonna always give ladies the first choice when we're having these conversations. Um, Let me frame this correctly, and then I'm gonna ask the question so you know why I'm asking it the way I'm asking it. Right?
That's weird.
It's worded wrong, so I do apologize for the grammar. But the idea is that you have a woman with a man, child comes out of wedlock. The parenting situation falls apart. So there's no co-parenting. There's no there's no reconciliation between the two. And this is a scenario that I'm asking this question from, right? So I don't want to get caught up in, well, they should find ways to, we know what they should do, but we're talking about accountability and self-awareness right now. So the question is, What do women do wrong to account for their parenting situation falling apart? So the framing is that it is fell apart already. That's where we are in this conversation, right? So it's already fell apart. It's not reconciled. The man and the woman can't see eye to eye. It's not working. What do women do wrong to account for the parenting situation falling apart? Why do you think they get there, and what does that do?
So they probably got there because they were feeding off of lust versus really becoming to know a certain person. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we don't ask about parenting. Like even with my ex-husband, I didn't ask him like, well, what are your beliefs about this? Do you believe in whooping? Do you do like we don't ask those type of questions before people having children. It's like, ooh, baby, I'm pregnant. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? So I think that vetting process got skipped. Okay. So that's one problem about it. And then when it fails, again, no one wants to takes accountability. Just easier to blame the other party for whatever went wrong. And then that's when the children end up suffering the whole ordeal most times.
I like it. Let's get one more lady to give their perspective. I'm gonna open it up to the fellas. We all civil enough to where I shouldn't have to call y'all like a classroom, but I want one more woman's perspective before the guys kind of get their input on why they think what falls apart or why it falls apart. Jalen or Giovanna, I can flip a coin. Y'all want
Do
to?
want to account for the parenting situation? I mean, I don't have kids. So I'm gonna just do a shot in the dark. Um, from what I've seen and noticed, they think that a child would wake a man up to want to stay in a relationship or at least try to be a better man for them when that's not how that works.
Okay.
So I'm kind of bouncing with Jalen, not on her comment, but more so of the reproduction. What I've seen for that is because some women trying to double back after that man that moved on, and it makes it a toxic situation. Or yeah, after that man that moved on, and they trying to hold it against the man. So that what makes the parenting situation kind of fall apart or a little bit more challenging. Just some situations I'm seeing, not all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put that out there.
Got you.
Or, yeah, they try to make it more difficult when he's in a new situation, co-parenting wise.
Shout out
they
to the
feel like
women.
at that point he's moved on.
I do want to say shout out to women that have moved on from that situation and they do have a great co-parenting relationship. I love that for the kids. I love that for the parents as well. But there are some parents that do try to double back and make the co-parenting situation toxic. And in those situations, I've seen where the woman would keep the child away from the man, and I've seen a few men get hurt in that situation. Is unfair.
Okay. Fellas, y'all got the floor. Any of
Ooh,
y'all?
that hurt.
Well, what you got, Jalen? Before y'all go, give me space real quick. Jalen sounded like she wanted to add something, or
No, I was
you hit her.
stretching. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. It sounded like you was about like, I don't know. All right, let's go with it, fellas. Y'all got the floor for real this time. Anybody? What do you think is done wrong on the account of women when parenting situations fall apart?
Let Scam go first. He just got in here.
What do you think about it?
Fail to improve.
To
'Cause
improve
you can stay in accountability court all day. Say, yeah, I did this. Okay, so you're gonna fix it? Yeah, he did this. You're gonna keep talking about it all day, or you're gonna do something actually to make the situation better. Yeah, man ain't this. Okay, you're gonna make yourself better to get a better man. Yeah, these kids this. Okay, you're gonna become a better parent and actually work on yourself so you can have a better child. Like, don't just stay there. Like, I don't talk about accountability, especially in a lot of these spaces. It's a waste of time. Because it's more time sitting, fighting, beating, complaining, whining than it is saying, all right, what can I do to get from yesterday to tomorrow? That's the conversation that most people are allergic to.
The solution part of
And
it?
actually, yeah, they'd rather go from today to yesterday than they would go from today to tomorrow. And the more they're beaten up and his fault, my fault, your fault, and this happened, they're going backwards. Time's going on and they're going back right, and their mind is going into the space of where the pain, trauma, and drama already happened.
Do you think it's possible to move into tomorrow if you haven't acknowledged yesterday? Is that possible?
If you're trying to, it shouldn't take but 15 minutes to acknowledge yesterday, maybe 5. If you're really trying to go for tomorrow, if you're running a race and you tripped and fell, how long are you going to stay on the ground looking at the dirt and looking at your shoelaces?
But you got to go back. No, you got to go back and see how did you fall? Why did you fall? So that's kind of going back to realizing what went wrong. Let's just learn. All right, now we can go into tomorrow.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And when I hear him say they rather go back to yesterday, they get so much stuck in the past and wish they could change the past, wish they could change their actions, even if they recognize what happened, that it blinds them to look to tomorrow. I mean, that's just how I received it when he said it.
Oh, yeah.
But he said rather, you know, not that they can't or not that they shouldn't, but they rather. So that rather stuck out to me.
I understand that part because it is when people get hurt, they do want to go back and want the person to fix the damage that they did so bad.
Yeah.
Or you want it to be like it was, or want that can happen too.
So yeah, I agree.
Do you think that
I see that perspective.
I got you. So Scam. So because we're talking about the women today, out of the percentage of Black women in America, what percentage do you think of Black women are self-aware?
Honestly, 70%.
Okay. Out of the 70%, how many do you think can show the resiliency you're talking about? Or how many in the earth, how many of them do you actually think can move to tomorrow and out of the past? How many of them you think are doing that?
20. But I say 70 and 80 because on the outside, it may look like they don't know who they are, but when they go home, they know who they are. They really do.
I asked that earlier. Was it mentally how they processed it? I think that we kind of agreed there. So why is there a gap between the two?
Well, I guess we're only talking about the women's.
Yeah,
but,
just today. We're gonna get on the guys Monday, bro. Yeah, we keeping it on the women today.
They gonna give it to us right. So pause. They ain't listen. They ready, man. They probably like, God damn, that's too many days. So say what you got to say.
Nice talk behavior. Stand up, look a certain way, talk a certain way, repeat the same things. When you go out in the public, people fear shame and abuse and getting judged so bad that every girl is a boss diva. Everybody's strong. Everybody got it together. Then they go home and cry in a corner.
Damn.
Or their actions show that they're not what they say that they are. And we'll repeat that on Monday with the men's too. But I ain't get onto that.
Hold on, what now? A boss diva?
Okay. The women who are saying I'm a queen goddess, I'm this, that's cool. But tell them to go in the VIP in the club. Hey, there goes some NBA players. Go. They know they ain't going up there. They know damn well. They see them 25-year-old supermodels. They know they're supposed to be way in the back in the kitchen somewhere.
Reality didn't set in yet.
Or they say they got all this money and they are this. Okay, well, go back it up. Go live like it. And they don't. They say, well, I'm a man with all this money. Okay, let me see your cell phone. Who's the last? Slick Dick Jimmy, Raw Dog Ronnie, Marquez. Come on.
Well, I like a nice Stanley Earl myself, but however, so I was just told you see those women though, they don't make them better than your average women. You know what I think it was like J. Cole or somebody else posted or somebody, Kendrick Lamar, I don't know who posted it. You know, like stop trying to be like these celebrities, Instagram chicks or whoever else, because there are a whole lot of other established women that are very established, and then however we're all not Instagram models and things of that nature. So it doesn't downplay of what that woman is. It's just like, all right, because just truthfully speaking, any one of these women on this pod could take that route. You want to do an Instagram? Do you want to be an Instagram model? Do you want to go throw it back in a strip club? Top this, and this, or however. Some of us took the more productive or a different route to success. So it doesn't make us less than the woman that's with those NBA players or whoever else, or the
No,
woman in the
yeah,
VIP section. Because if I want to be in the VIP section, trust me, I can get there on my own.
no, it's exaggeration, but it's just to show the point.
He was talking about he was speaking more to the masking, meaning he's saying that they're self-aware, but it's done quietly. So what the bravado that they show into the world, that's not who they truly are when they're by themselves. And he's saying that the reason why the self-awareness number was so high is that it's the quiet accountability that they'll never show anybody. And this is why he was talking about the gap between those that are self-aware and that accountability gap, and why it was so big is that they know up here, but they'll never express to anybody else, which stops them and hinders them from doing the work of moving to tomorrow. So that's kind of connecting all of it without getting lost in the example of the club and where they should be and where they are. So I think that was did I frame that right, Scam?
Yeah, just that gap of what day one. How to say it? I'm trying not to hog the mic either. But on a short term, dude approaches girl, she says no, he thinks, or she thinks she all that or whatever. But if you really take time to get to know that girl, she might have ducked him because he's scared of him. But a lot of women have low self-esteem, and it doesn't show on day one. It might take day 3, 5, 7 when you'll see it. Some of them is 15 minutes. But most people have low self-esteem. Black, white, Asian. Even the celebrities got low self-esteem, being honest.
Yeah. We hear it in the music all the time, and it actually sells more. The more pain they can put into it, the more people actually buy because they can actually relate. So I guess, that makes sense.
I sense too much low self-esteem no good for you. Too much high self-esteem ain't good for you because you could be overly confident where you can't produce the confidence that you protrude out to people. It turns into cockiness then, right? So I think a sense of low self-esteem, because I want to say this just because he mentioned this, because I hear people talk about esteem. I think a sense low esteem is healthy, just a sense of it, whatever that may be. I think that sense low esteem keep you at a humble humility type of vibe. That's just my opinion on some weird shit, but go ahead. I just wanted to say that for a disclaimer because I just hear it a lot so much, right? Like I'm a very highly confident person. I'm confident in the things I have low self-esteem in.
I see what you're saying. I think that, like you said, that expresses more like humility versus having lower or higher self-esteem. You're not saying have low self-esteem. You're saying bring it down with humility, but don't.
I mean, if that's how you want to frame it, but I framed it exactly the way I wanted to frame it, and only the ones that could kind of hear wherever this shit may go in the future, like for real.
I like it.
Yeah, but you're right though. Yeah, that's a good frame for you know what I'm saying as well. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like a masking sense?
Huh?
Yes.
Like they mask what's going on, like kind of like faking it.
No. You like say for instance, right? Like the things that you may think people, the things that may have confidence in things that you're low self-esteem. So the things that keep you to a point where you might double check yourself, put that out there. If it's not you know what I'm saying? We talking about esteem, and you'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So I have confidence in the things I have low self-esteem in. Right? I put myself in rooms that I might not. I can translate it to if you always the best in every room you go to, you're not in the right room.
Right.
So if you go to rooms where you're not the best at, some type of this low self-esteem mentality is going to happen because it's a driving force. It's a push.
I get it now.
And we're human, so we're never going to be perfect. So it's always going to be push of betterment. It's always going to be a push because we're human. So it's like an ongoing battle that you can't win. That's a healthy battle. That's just I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just y'all ain't understand how long I've been processing that shit. So when he brought it up, it just boom.
The Bino-isms defeated. I totally got it the second time you said. I was like, I see exactly what he's saying now. At first, I was like, maybe No, but you said it right the first time. The things you have low self esteem in, you lead with confidence because you have the idea that you want to get better at it versus
Right.
trying to project what you think you're strong at. That makes I actually see that. I like that.
Yeah, it goes deeper.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I ain't gonna go into it no more.
Okay. Anybody else want to touch on this one before we shift gears a few more times?
Nope.
What for
Okay.
the question or
Oh yeah, for the question about how when we're talking about the co-parenting situation of falling apart in the scenario I painted earlier, Mel, um, what do you think women are doing wrong to not have either healthy co-parenting or reconciliation with the child, the father of their children?
the main big thing I always see that's
Hmm.
real big is jealousy after whoever leaves.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Pretty much, really.
yeah, I can see
And
that. It's
sometimes that comes from, dang, why he didn't treat me that way. Sometimes the women feel that way. Or why didn't I get this type of, you know what I'm saying? So now that projects jealousy in this sense they do have a child together. Like, oh no, you can't see the child
Right,
because blah, blah. Then they change it, turn it all around to now about them when it ain't about them anymore.
right.
okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the SPS Podcast, the Raw Bunch. I appreciate y'all, man. We are getting through this conversation pretty quickly. Ain't nobody got yelled at yet. Ain't nobody been threatened. I love these type of panels, man. You know, y'all some smart, beautiful black people. I appreciate all of y'all. These ladies.
Oh, y'all can be on our neck Monday. So
Yeah, I
we
was about to say, hey, we need some smoke.
can.
You know what I mean? We gonna stand tall like champs. I'm not worried about Monday.
Ten
Light work.
toes.
Monday
I
just
need
gonna be
some
another day.
reinforcements and some shit. We gonna
That's all
breeze.
Monday is. Another day.
Yeah, we're about to breeze through that. Ooh. Well, I guess we kind of answered that question. I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse. Let's move to the sexual dynamics and femininity now, though. Again, disclaimer,
Mm.
disclaimer. Most of these are from the brain of CJ Bazemore. That's right. That's
Oh,
CJ Bazemore. Um,
mastermind.
follow him and ask him why he has these questions. But no, they dope questions. But let's get to the sexuality of this thing. Ladies, why do women feel the need to have a whole phase? Go.
Um, I think some feel the need to have it as it like a liberating, like there's no judgment. Like they have this on like a bucket list type thing. I had my whole phase. I lived, I done, and then I'm moving on to then trying to be wife material. So I feel like it's just something about that no judgment. I can go out and be free, enjoy myself, and don't have to worry about it. That's
That's why they do it.
yes,
What ages do you think? Is this age dependent? Is it mentality dependent? Like what triggers the thought to
mentality.
do it?
I
Mentality.
think mentality. Yeah, some of them may. I mean, it just depends. Some people be like say they just started out wanting a relationship, they get in a relationship, shit didn't work, and then boom, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy myself because I've been stuck in this relationship for so long. I'm just gonna go out here and be free, not think about this and that, and just enjoy myself. And that's where it comes. It don't matter what age. You can have somebody that might be 60 that want to do it because they've been married all the time. Like, you know what? I've been with that one person. I ain't never get a chance to live,
Mm.
quotation marks, live. I'm gonna go out here and do this.
Brittany, I got one more follow up real quick. Do you think that the whole phase is a proactive thought or a reactive one?
Reactive. Like I said, most time it's from heartbreak. Most times, not all the time, but
Yeah,
most time it's for heartbreak.
got it. Jalen and Giovanna, what y'all got? Why do women feel the need to have a whole phase?
So I don't think most women would like quote unquote say they need to have a whole face. Lean back, CJ. Lean back.
Hey, look,
Lean.
man, I'm about
Uh,
to.
I don't. I
Cause
don't
I
think most
heard it.
women may say that they may need to feel that way. I think Brittany kind of mentioned it a little bit. Like a woman may feel like, all right, I'm gonna date this man. Lord, that came on camera. Jesus. Turn your camera back off. Just like I'm gonna date somebody. Like you may have that one woman that's looking for a relationship, a true love, or whatever. However, she just get knocked back, knocked back, knocked back. Then some people may see that as a whole phase. Then there are situations, let's push that one to the side. All right, like Brittany just mentioned, a woman got heartbroken or whatever, and she don't want a relationship, and she deciding that she gonna have this situationship or this whatever I think I know I talked about on a different post before. I meet you and we're gonna talk about what it is I can establish with you. I don't want a relationship from you. I don't have the time to have a relationship or whatever the case may be. So either we can have this sex situationship or whatever y'all call it nowadays, and that's it. And that don't need to be with multiple people. That can just be with one person. But sometimes that may end and you may go to the next and that can maybe be looked at as hoe face. I don't think any woman go until look at that, oh, I'm gonna be a hoe today. At least not the woman I know. That said they didn't want to go outside and be a hoe today. So it's kind of hard to say the hoe face. However, unfortunately, women we find ourselves in situations that we don't know when the end is the end, or we can't dictate like the end of it. So and then if the end keep coming, then it may look like a whole phase in the male world. No, Linder. No questions, please. Yeah, I'm joking.
I mean, I'll figure a follow up. So, do you think that women are aware when they're entering this whole phase, or do you think it's something that happens because of failed effort?
Failed effort on her or the man.
Her.
Sometimes it may be some failed effort on the woman.
So you think it's more of failed effort versus her being aware that she's about to enter a whole phase?
I don't think it's more. Sometimes it may be failed effort or just like
Well,
men.
where somebody on the whole phase.
And I know,
Women know.
and I know we're not talking about men. We got y'all on Monday, but there are some women that just like, all right, I'm gonna knock him down. He look good. I'm gonna knock him down. This is what I want. I want this man for a long time. I'm gonna knock him down. Oh, I'm on this trip. I'm gonna knock him down. And it happens. It happens. Like I legit had this conversation with my sister, and I was just like, "Hey, if I'm traveling somewhere, either I'm gonna bring the person I'm traveling with, or this trip ain't about to be long. Not saying that just because I'm traveling somewhere, I need to bring my person. However, just I know there are some women that go on trips. Like well, I took a trip to Vegas, and one of the girls, this women that was with us, and she was linking up on whatever social app that she was using just to meet men. And I'm just like, girl, why? That's not even safe. Now, because now you want them to come into within hang out with us. Now I can't embed this person because I just met him a few seconds ago. So it's just like now you may putting your friends in an unsafe environment.
Yeah, like I think I think like what you said is everything you damn near said is true, right? But like as a man and like talking to other men that may hear this
Girl,
because
they gotta get a rose. I'm listening to you.
you don't went to you don't like I understand everything you're saying, but like as a man, I translate that this from man to man. It almost be like this, man. Like ladies, it be almost like nature versus nurture and nature without nurture. Like the honest truth is naturally, you feel what I'm saying? A woman is has the same freaking sexual emotion feeling as us. You feel what I'm saying? They have whole cycles just for that. You feel what I'm saying? Before and after, like you know what I'm saying. That's what that you know what I'm saying. Like amongst the other shit, like bro, like that shit be like nature versus nurture. So then you got nurture fucked them up. Feel what I'm saying? Nature one, and then you got ones that got nature without nurture. Fucked them up. You know what I'm saying? Because like you got women that go through whole faces at 40.
Crazy.
We ain't got there yet. You got women that go through whole faces at 50 if they look good enough. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have to look good.
Well, I'm just saying, like the whole phase to a point where it's those like I'm thinking about the 50-year-old successful woman who did it right, was married for 20 years, 25 years, got a divorce for every reason. We ain't gonna say man or woman was at fault. We're gonna say what's the main statistic? What is it? Something compromises. You couldn't compromise, so y'all divorced.
Yeah, and reconcilable differences.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main percentage reasons why they divorce. So at the end of the day, They might divorce at 40 years old, 50 years old, and go through a whole phase. Because it's their nature to breed. Pause. I hate to say that word like that, but you know what I'm saying? And then they just go with their nature because they already goddamn established. They already raised their kids. They already got a nice house. They already got the bread. So now fuck it, I'm just gonna go with my nature. I went 40 years and my nurture taught me to do this. I did it. Now I'm 45. I'm gonna go with my nature. Little sexy motherfucker in Jamaica, I'm gonna pop them. Cause it happens. They go to Jamaica and they do that. While they talking about niggas going to Dominican Republic. You feel what I'm saying?
You gotta be careful with that.
They don't have
For
to go to
for
Jamaica.
the record, I will not be doing that
They
in
just go to
Jamaica.
the liquor
For the
store.
record.
Jalen, what's up? What you got for us? What you think?
I hate to
Why do
say
women
breed
feel-
like that. I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm gonna use better words for you too, Queen T. I apologize. Procreate. There we go.
It's funny. Jalen, what you got?
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I gotta think. 'Cause I don't really agree with the whole phase.
Let's
I
start there.
guess
Let's start there. I like that. Let's start there. Why don't you agree with the whole phase?
I think having too many sexual partners for anybody is damaging. I think it causes more issues when it comes to being in a monogamous relationship,
Mhm.
and you become more emotionally detached when it comes to sex. I think sex should solely be for the people that you develop an emotional and romantic relationship with. Anything outside of that, and you do it too much, you tend to be. It's harder to commit to anything.
Okay. Now, why do you actually? Okay, I like that. That's solid. Let me pause. Let me give a pause for that. That makes sense to me, right? Now let's add the layer for the people that or the women that are doing whole phases. Why do you think they feel the need to do it?
I'm not gonna say it's because it's out of the desire for sex. I think it's a form of an emotional armor. It's like a way for them to control the outcome. So they get to control who gets access, how much, and how long, and avoid the messy, unpredictable feelings that come with like genuine monogamous emotional intimacy. That makes sense.
So it's a way of cherry picking the relationship part
You have more control.
or the illusion of it. I got it.
Well,
Fellas,
yeah.
you said no. You said no. Actual control. You believe that?
Mhm.
You think hoes have more control with the outcomes they want than women in relationships?
I think the true hoes,
That's a good question.
the true hoes, the hoes that are detached,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not a simple answer. It goes a little deeper. But that's a good observation.
I don't think it. I think we could talk about the ones that kind of get feelings involved, but I don't want to talk about that because I think that's been talked about before. So
They probably see it as a business.
When people start seeing stuff as a business, that means they're already gone.
That's the point.
They're gonna end
They
up
are.
with the talking point mafia.
most people in this area of YouTube is gone because they call relationship and dating a market.
Transactional and all that. That means it's already good. It's already dead.
Like none of this is a market. We're dealing with human beings.
No,
Like
I'm talking
that
about the whole.
sounds
I'm talking
that
about the
sounds
whole
like
phase.
sociopathy in my opinion.
No, the whole phase. When you say
Like,
are
like,
they?
like,
Go
like
ahead.
if you really think about it, right? Nowadays, you got you got women out here. Yeah, you got women out here that just because they're in a whole phase, they selling it now, and they think that's how they make their money, which is kind of crazy. But
There ain't no phase right there.
I think
There ain't no
I think
phase.
the minority of hoes are getting money from what they do. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a minority of hoes.
Might be a
Well,
minority.
that goes to the control part you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, because you were talking about do a regular woman in a relationship versus a hoe in control. It's different because in a relationship, you got this person that you chose or that chose you, and you got to make it work, or you're trying to make it work. It's all or nothing. It either works or it doesn't. With the hoe, there's dude over here, Simp Panderson over there, Dusty Crusty over here, average guy here, Trick Jameson over here. And you can just keep playing the game. So
That made
you
the
can
best man.
hang the phone up and pick up the phone as another person or whatever. So there's a fake sense of control. The problem is long term is kind of false. Though the pushback, here's the lie. Ain't nobody gonna want them hoes. Don't nobody want no hoe. Bullshit. The chicks that was getting bent over, stuck, clobbered, slammed, drilled, tossed, dunked, they married
Damn.
right now. And there's
Man,
58 simps mad because they couldn't get a piece.
he brought it into the fold. Trying to want to say, all men want a form of a hoe, whether it's in private, whether it's one that's way more free in public. All men want a form of a hoe.
Yeah, well, let me go back to the whole thing. Go ahead.
Hey, Strada.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Y'all
Go
be
ahead. Now I'm
saying
gonna
you
go
want a
back to
freak in the
that's the
sheets.
original
Hoes
question.
are freaks.
Yeah. I'm glitching, but I'm following. Come on, give me more context, Scam, because I feel like you and Jalen are walking the same line. I need a little bit more context so I can process it correctly. Help me out.
Well, let me go to your question, and then I'm gonna go back to that.
Got you.
I'm scatterbrained.
Yeah.
The original
ADHD.
question was shit.
Why do women feel the need to have a
Oh,
relationship with? Yeah.
why? It's multiple things. One, caged in like an animal and then let loose. If you cage a dog in for 23 hours out a day and let him loose, he's gonna run all jumping through the house, everything.
So like rebellion.
Like college, the fake pastors. I mean, let's be real. The dads, a bunch of these dudes talking about men are great, just submit to any of them until their daughter turns 14 and got titties.
Ooh.
Then it's a cage and a leash, and he's hiding her under the bed. So then she says, I don't want to live like this. I can't go to no parties, do nothing. Then they go to college. And the alphas, Qs, kappas, slick dick Tony, raw dog Ronnie. When she starts to lose it, has some alcohol, she runs wild. She ain't never seen no freedom. I've seen that. I've also seen women who go through trauma and they think that there's a form of control. They've been controlled, an abusive dude or SA victim, and then they believe that now they're in control. I had somebody I know actually explain this to me. She was an SA victim, and she started wilding all the way out. I've seen women who lost the value of it, chasing after some dude, bent her over, stuck her, and Ubered her back to the streets. And now in her mind, it ain't worth shit anyway. Her self-esteem is gone. So dude's like, hey man, can I get some buns? What the hell? Why not? Because she don't value it no more. She don't value herself. She's down at this low point. But the people love hoes. There would be the strip clubs would be empty. But there's 2 or 3, 4, 10 strippers and 68 dudes in there. Okay. You're talking Benzes. You're talking cash wads of ones. They like them up.
Damn, I
the
see.
Dudes run trains. 7 dudes smash 1 chick. Dude number 2 and number 5. When nobody's looking, it doesn't have to be like this, baby. I can show you a different life.
Funny.
Like I said, the dudes don't have high self-esteem either. Most of them don't like hoes because they're mad because they say no. They hate body count because they want to be number 317.
Damn. We're gonna say that for Monday. We're gonna say that for Monday. I mean, I ain't let you get that off, Scam. You slid in there. That was tricky. Jalen was waiting on it. But We'll say that to Monday, but that's a good question. I think I'm gonna add that to the slide Monday. Yeah, we're gonna actually get into that, bro, because I think that's very interesting. Shout out to Playboy Williams. What's up, brother? All right, y'all. I think the next two questions that they're real like interpersonal. I think I'm gonna jump straight to my last question, but still idea based on what CJ sent me. CJ, you want me to ask the other two? I think you know which two I'm talking about. They petty as fuck, but
Ask all of them.
okay. Y'all want to go through all of them? You sure?
Yeah, cause I ain't answered the last two.
My bad, bro. You know,
I'm just here letting my ears bleed by these responses.
why you mad, son? Why you mad, son?
CJ, why you being petty?
You asking me why? You asking me why am I being petty? Is asking me why do I blink and breathe at the same time?
That's about right. I'm gonna see what you on Monday, though. Okay.
You're saying that like, oh my God, the sun's not coming out on Monday.
No, I'm gonna be CJ. I'm gonna act like CJ.
He said like the sun about to come out on Monday.
Like you
don't be petty.
I've been over here in silence.
Oh man,
I had to chew gum because I was grinding my teeth listening to y'all NC's.
Hey,
bro, why you ain't let that marinate, bro? That shit was funny as hell. She said the way to Monday, he's like the sun gonna come out. Yo, bro, that shit, bro. Y'all ain't catch that shit.
Don't entertain him.
My bad, bro. All right, my bad, bro. CJ, that was
Come
fucking good, bro. I swear.
That's the whole reason why he been over there quiet. He been over there been coming up all this stuff. He done came up with a new one.
No, man. Everything I just said was it was off the dome. I just been literally sitting here just listening to y'all answer these questions and just grinding my teeth, man.
But it's just realistic answers though. So at least for me.
Man, look, the way I see it is any woman that has a whole phase, they was a hoe to begin with. Any woman with a whole phase was internally a hoe to begin with. Otherwise, you wouldn't need a whole phase.
What's a hoe?
I disagree.
You're entitled to. Any woman with that characteristic that's willing to go around and just, they went through, because most whole phases, that very term is coined by women. It ain't like niggas made it. So for them to claim this title, they gotta go through a whole phase.
Y'all did make it. Because how many times you hear a man
y'all
or
have
somebody
had
say a man
an excessive amount of talking. I didn't cut off nobody.
My bad.
There you go. So anyway, y'all have had an excessive amount of sex after you make this claim for a whole phase. And most whole phases don't happen until after the breakup, until after some dramatic event happened in your life. And now you gotta, I don't know, to cover and fill this empty void with a bunch of dicks, I guess.
Damn.
I don't think that shit works that way. But if that's the excuse you got to use, fuck it, go for it. But at the end of the day, all you did was just rack up 14, 15 bodies, about 30 pounds of sperm in your stomach, and now you're thinking that you're ready to go back into the world and date again. That makes no fucking sense to me.
But they're getting married.
I don't care about them getting married. The women that are hoes and the women that are not hoes are getting married. That's irrelevant. Now you're talking about, they're getting married. If that man really had a fucking rap sheet, let's say, for example, hypothetical fucking multiverse. Let's say you were able to look up police records, criminal records, hoe records, body counts. If you were able to look that shit up, a lot of women would be single. A lot of women wouldn't be in relationships. And yet, shake your head no all you want. There will be more not in relationship than the ones that are. You can gas that fucking lie up all you want. There's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me that if niggas was able to actually look up the body counts of every woman in the world today, that the same amount of women that are hoes that are getting relationships would remain the same. No, it would not.
So
it would decrease.
It actually might go up.
That would be the case.
It would decrease.
If the men knew whether the woman that they cheated on clapped back or not, that would maybe change the perspective. But for
that woman is less. That woman's odds of getting into a relationship and getting married decreases.
Hey, CJ,
that's phenomenal.
We should take this bet. Is it Giovanna? How you say your name?
Yes, thank you.
Create a profile and say you live in Mississippi, and put in the profile your body count is 306.
First of
see
all, I would
who
never
hits
say I
you up.
lived in Mississippi.
And you know what's gonna happen, Scam? You know what's gonna happen? A bunch of men are gonna go in her DMs ready to fuck, but ain't nobody trying to be in a relationship and get married.
CJ,
Yeah, Scam, I
out
don't
of
know what the
those,
fuck you talking about, bro. You just
CJ,
Man,
wild
like
out on
y'all
that
killing
question.
me with this. Any nigga
You
will
just
fuck a girl with 2
wild
bodies
out,
or fuck a girl
man.
with 300 bodies. But y'all
CJ,
talking
hear
about,
me.
you said married. The
CJ,
odds
hear
of
me.
these
That to
women
me.
getting married, if they
Hear
knew
me
about
out.
their body count being excessive, is very slim to none.
No, hear me
Stop.
out. Out of these
Especially when
kids,
everybody can look it up. Now, let's be real. You in the y'all
it's
killing me.
happening every day,
Y'all killing me
bro.
because I've been chilling. I've been like
All
y'all
the way up
niggas
to the
talking about
celebrity.
your fucking tongues all day. If you see your man's with a chick he knows nothing about, but you know everything about. You know she a hoe. She got dug up by the homies. Are you gonna let him just ride the wave with this motherfucker, or you gonna tell him who she is, fellas?
I'm gonna tell him who
Like
she
Strata
is.
says, we're gonna round robin this shit, but I need the men to answer this question.
CJ, get on Facebook right now.
I need the men to answer the question that I
Look
gave.
up the hoes on
I'm gonna
Facebook
tell.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna
I'm
tell her
telling
You
who
say
the
you gonna
who
what?
she is.
Can't
I'm
find them
telling
because their last name changed.
I'm telling
No,
my
I don't
nigga.
want to hear that. I said answer the question. He ain't answering the question.
You gonna
Bino,
tell
you
him?
said you'll tell your mans.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
I'm telling my nigga.
Strata, you gonna tell your mans?
she a hoe.
Why
Yeah.
you gonna tell them? Why?
Why the fuck would any nigga? You can't be known. You can't listen. This nigga scam stripping. I said he wilding out. If a motherfucker sit there and say, "Oh, she bad and she got 200 bodies, let me go wife her," you is bugging, dog. You bugging. That's the
Boom.
wildest shit I ever heard a
Right
nigga
out.
say.
Melly
Ain't
Mel,
nobody
Mel.
don't
What you
nobody
gonna
don't
do,
want to
Mel?
know. Don't no nigga want to know
I'm
the
telling
world to
you.
know that his woman got 200 bodies or 50 bodies or whatever you
I'm
deem as
telling
a
you.
hoe. Oh
She
nigga,
Most
what?
sucked up
dudes who
half the
want
grooms on your
I'm telling my
at your
mans
fucking
what's
wedding.
going
most
on.
dudes who want to
There's
smash.
15 niggas in the crowd
There's
at
a
the
No
wedding.
nigga
She
want to
she
wipe
got
that
that dug in her
scam.
guts.
Huh?
Like niggas
Hell
rather
no.
not know. So CJ absolutely right. Like, so you right.
That's
A lot
crazy.
of quote unquote hoes get wife, but it ain't to the knowledge of the man. Niggas like, bro,
You
Not
think
to
they
ain't
the
don't
knowledge.
nobody
know?
wife who
Shit.
wife in the town hoe.
You think they don't know? What town you
Nobody.
live in?
Where he
Stop
know.
it. Most of these dudes that you know scam you over here. You a part of toxic
Strata, you
Thursday at
said
this
they
point.
wife in
You
the
just
Am
town
I,
hoe.
dancing.
am I wrong?
They making
You're
babies
very
with them.
wrong.
They
Can't
making
say like
You're
babies
how.
with
very
it,
wrong.
unfortunately, and sticking with them. But we talk about the average man is wife in the wife and where everybody know that
No,
everybody done hit.
the average
Oh.
man can't get her. He's mad because he can't get her, but he would.
So all right, so if the average, so
They
the below
love
average
hoes.
man then is doing that, then yeah. Because
Most
the
dudes
average
have no
man, the
standards
above
and
average
think
man ain't doing that. So you said the average man no. I say the below average man doing that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What are the celebrities dating?
Bro,
They're
let's
Are they
irrelevant.
not do
going to
the
church
See,
and
they
celebrity
kill me
drinking
with
shit.
this celebrity shit. That's
Oh my
Persona,
irrelevant.
god.
It's a
image,
part of the image. Half the motherfuckers that
money,
get in these relationships aren't even
business.
real relationships.
Come
They're
on, man. Y'all
contracts.
still falling for this
Don't do
fucking celebrity
celebrities. Don't do
shit.
anybody
celebrities.
been
And
to
that's the
college?
problem.
Influencers,
That's
models.
the problem.
Anybody went
Everybody
to
acting like the
HBCU?
celebrities. That's a good point. That's the problem. Everybody walking around here acting like they can carry each other like they're a goddamn celebrity
That's not
because
the
they
same.
thinking that celebrity shit is some shit. Come on, man.
And
Wake the
Okay.
half
fuck
them
up,
shits is
please.
How
contracted. They're
about
not real.
PORN
They're doing
stars?
it for the
They're married.
business. You said what?
PORN stars. A lot of them are actually married.
They're married to other porn stars.
They married to
You can
their
Google that. We did
lifestyle.
a pod on that. That doesn't count. They're okay with the lifestyle because
They
they
married
live
to
the
their
lifestyle. That's
lifestyle.
different.
Ooh, what you talking
That's
about?
Y'all
not
are
the
in denial.
same.
Y'all are in
You're not
denial.
you're not you're not about to knock me off of
Hey,
any fucking mountain on
Strata,
this. Like, there's no way you're gonna tell me that the average
Strata, do
man
this.
or above average man is gonna find out that he's got a rap sheet that the woman that he's with has got 300 something bodies and he's about to wife her.
Hey,
He'll
Strata,
probably do
do
the
this.
same thing that the last
Get
300
a
niggas
prostitute
did and then
or
call
get
it
a
a day.
stripper on your panel one day. Do
So
a show
what?
with do a panel with a stripper or a prostitute.
Uh-huh.
Pull her up on the panel and just start asking questions. They'll tell you what really goes on.
But
What?
Jelly Roll wife, she's a porn star or something like that, and y'all know Jelly Roll. Y'all
Yeah,
know
we know.
Jelly Roll.
I don't watch that, man.
Oh,
I know what you're
Jelly
talking about.
Roll.
I think
He's an
Nigga, I
artist.
thought she was about to name a rapper. I swear
No,
to God.
he's
He
an
said porn
artist.
star.
He's
I'm
a
telling you, it's
Caribbean
not just
artist,
dudes that want to
and his
smash.
wife is like in the porn star industry, and whatever case it be. Even after they married each other, he was like he didn't want to take away from her profession and her as her livelihood and stuff like that. So he's fine with her doing that. He lost like a ton of weight. I think he was like
Wait, hold
locked
on.
up back in the
Rewind. Who
day
the
or
fuck is Jelly
whatever.
Roll? Is that the porn star?
He's an
No,
artist.
he's
He's
an
an
artist.
artist. He's great. He's a Caucasian guy, kind of big, lost a lot of weight.
The big fat nigga with the tattooed
Okay.
face?
Okay.
He
So
said
Yeah.
the N word. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
a
Okay,
big
so he's
nigga.
still a below average nigga. I don't care how you explain him physically.
His net worth is a couple million.
He's a
Okay,
celebrity.
so
It still goes back to me being talking about
But
celebrities.
at the
That's
yeah,
same
he's
still
that's,
thing,
gold.
that's still
but
that
no, the
same
part
You missed the
was
lifestyle.
celebrity point I
his
was
wife.
making.
He's fine with his wife
You
being a
missed the
porn star.
celebrity point I was trying to make. They can get any woman they want. They're bypassing church parking lot, bypassing the teachers, the nurses, and aiming for the Instagram bimbos.
Because they're married to the lifestyle.
Scrambling, fighting
The
in the club.
lifestyle.
$5 million net worth, fighting in the club over stank bimbos.
They're
And
married
somebody
to the
else stank
lifestyle. When they marry them joints, money is
Y'all
involved,
not killing me with
investments is involved, image is
Yeah.
involved,
No,
more
they're actually
attention,
losing money.
more attention
Money
is
don't count.
involved, so
They
more
got court
money.
cases.
That shit is a business. Marriage is a business to the poorest motherfucker.
That shit's wild to me.
Rich motherfuckers
Scam,
ain't selling
scam. If
even
you want
better,
to
especially
live that, you want to live
celebrities.
that belief.
Come
Cool.
on, man. We gotta stop
No.
comparing that shit.
No.
No, I just
That,
said it because
the
it's
way how
visible.
I see it, there's way for you to have a whole phase as a woman. That was internally a part of you. You didn't have to have that. You chose to do it because internally that was a part of you, and it'll probably happen more than once in your life. It's not. Stop. Just like how a nigga just like how a man can go out and just fuck 100 motherfucking women and carry on about his day. There's also men that can literally do the opposite because it's not in them to do such shit. So a woman to have a whole phase, it was internally in you to want to do that. You just need to have an excuse or a reason to do it. And you probably used, you just got a bad breakup, and now I need a whole phase, or I need some time to heal. I'm in my healing era. You're literally about to fuck 30 niggas in the next 6 months.
That's not true.
Yeah, don't tell me it's not true. I know girls that do this. You're telling me something. You cannot say that's not true. I literally know ladies that
Like
do
the
this.
celebrities and porn stars.
And I'm not talking about no
strippers.
celebrities. These
That's
is average ass
below
motherfuckers.
average
They know
of
different than the
people.
rest of us.
That's a minority people, and we really
I
ain't gonna
started with just
carry
regular ones from high
celebrities,
school,
porn
college,
stars, and strippers.
That's wild. I
Strata,
know
do they love
average
hoes or not?
women
Let's
that
not do
literally do
that.
this
Let's
shit.
not do that. Let's not.
Strata, do
Motherfuckers
they
is
love
doing
hoes?
whole phases in high school.
Let's not start doing like that. Let's stop.
Strata, say it again.
No.
Say it again, Strata.
Hoes, niggas love hoes, bro. We gotta keep it tall. Niggas love hoes, and we all got that one homie that take it too far.
I like how you said that, Strata. He took it too far. I literally just said niggas are fuck hoes, but he said that everybody marries hoes. No, that's not how that works. If most niggas that married a woman that is known by other people as a hoe, he probably didn't know she was a hoe.
Smash, and he knows.
Do the show.
I don't have one.
One prostitute.
A prostitute.
One prostitute. One stripper.
And so what we supposed to do then? We supposed to wait for them to get married to somebody from the chat or something?
And just ask.
You never know where that may go. You never know where that may go. It won't be me, but you never know where that may go. However, I think we're gonna all agree to disagree. That sometimes there are some women.
Venus.
There are some women that may be quote unquote knowing they're gonna be a hoe. They say I'm gonna be a hoe and they're gonna be a hoe. There are some women that they may seem deemed by the public or society that they're being a hoe, and not knowing they will enter a hoe phase. So I think we'll probably agree to disagree. And then
you can do that as a woman, of course, because you're not fucking women. So of course you can agree to disagree. I'm telling you that there are women that go in these whole phases. In group chats, they announce them. They have them. Some of them, if they're confident enough, they'll let you know, hey, we can fuck around, but I got these other niggas that I'm rocking with. They do that.
Okay, gotcha.
They do that. I'm not saying these things because they don't exist. So when Scam's saying it's not true, it's crazy to even hear that. You telling me that this is not true is like you telling me that you have a full head of hair. These things are lies.
No, dudes have rotation called feelings. 40%.
Okay, you know what? I'll agree that at some point that one dude like Strata said that he went too far, he caught feelings. But for you to say that all the hoes get married, 9 out of 10, the hoes that got married to a man that didn't know there was a hoe. There's always the exception, obviously, in most of every scenario that we have in these conversations. But majority of the time, the nigga that married a woman that these other homies know that she got slutted out for decades, but he don't know that because she's now a wholesome woman. She done found Jesus. She go to Bible study in church. She don't
All right.
cuss no more. So now she's chilling. She done went through all that shit, right? You wouldn't even know that's the same woman, but the niggas know her track record, right? But the man that she's with now does not. So he gets with her. Oh, I got a wholesome woman. What's her name? Bonquisha. You know, she doing great things for the community. Blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. She seems like a nice motherfucker in the world. Then the other niggas be like, man, this motherfucker done fuck so and so, blah, 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 nigga. She was
Strata,
doing this at 30 minutes.
Strata, what have you seen? What have you seen, Strata?
Man, listen, bro. I hear what he's saying. I think that this is the nasty truth that nobody
healing out 2025. All right.
I'm just being honest. This what's happening, bro. It's what's happening.
Venus.
These dudes
Somebody gonna knock your coins out too.
These dudes are taking hoes and they're just relocating them because honestly, them being a hoe don't bother them. It's the reputation of the dudes they did it with, and most of the time, to your point, CJ, whether intentional or unintentional, ignorance does become bliss. And I think that to Scam's point, what normally happens is when you're dealing with someone that doesn't have that stigma of being a hoe, and you're of right mind, she of right mind, y'all normally tend to take it slower. But to Scam's point, if a guy has an affinity to hoes, he's rushing everything because he wants to literally take it off the market as fast as he can. And so I think that gives it validity. Although I believe it to be a small percent of guys that take it too far, like we said earlier, I do think that it can lend to the fact that there would be promiscuous women. There's always somebody to save them, bro. Like we know, and I think that's the part we got to be honest about. We know niggas that save hoes, bro. Like we do. Like we got
whole phase. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Women that go through whole phases, whatever, they get married. But y'all, the downright hoes. So that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. They don't even got to look good no more. They'll take anything.
Man, you got women that fuck around and get away with murder from the time they 18 to 25. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's a phase. They tighten up. They do somewhere. They live somewhere else. They go long. Motherfucker come through. Y'all. If we talk about the small town aspect, cool. But the small town aspect is the minority of the population. So when we talk about majority people, it don't work like the small town aspect where you know each other your whole life, ain't never lived nowhere else. I'm not saying we are, but we think like that. We got to think about people and how people really populate and move and travel and live. People that go through whole phases get married, but downright hoes, everybody know that's a hoe.
Hey, Bino, I can even tell you why. You ready?
And I'm not saying when I say they get married, I think because y'all jump right into celebrities, y'all jump right into strippers and prostitutes. And we know if anybody have a ring on that and they married, it's for a whole different reason than what the average people get married for.
I can tell you why they're marrying hoes, strippers, prostitutes. I can tell you why. Much as I can't stand Fresh and Fit, one thing they said that was true.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, let's be real. Most men and women have low self-esteem. They spend money in a strip club. They do all this, and they will do anything for a woman to be nice to them. Hoes know how to do that. Strippers is their profession. It comes with the game.
You talk about getting married, bro.
They'll
you got to drag me through marriage.
Yes.
Let's talk about the marriage.
They don't even have to look
being
good.
A wife to a man.
They will do anything for a woman who will just come and be nice to them.
So you saying you won't do that because you know it's bullshit. You won't talk about them being a wife to a man, a husband. You talk about being nice to him and doing for him,
really
and tricking on them, and having a nigga that'll pimp them and protect them, or some other wild shit, or a nigga that's in business with them. They get the money that's weird too. They do orgies, probably like shit both ways, shit like that. When y'all talking about porn stars and porn and strippers and prostitutes.
No, I just said that because it's visual. You know that celebrities can get
So
in
other
you.
than that, the average hoe that everybody know, if we all sit here, let's do a sample size. If 20 niggas if we all know the same hoe, one of us gonna marry him?
Huh?
Hell no.
I don't think so neither, man.
All right.
CJ, what you think?
You already heard what I think. I think
All right.
Scam is just
Okay.
bored and he
All
just having fun with this shit right now. Ain't no
We
that
Strata gonna say
the
yeah,
average
because
man, below average man is
Bring,
I
not
be
understand.
gonna
here.
be
No,
doing what
here.
this motherfuckers
Be
always
here
do.
today. He has a prostitute and a stripper who are just willing to tell the story
We here
and take
anyway.
notes.
We the Mount Rushmore of this shit. So it
All right.
still don't it don't matter. If he brings a fucking prostitute and a stripper up here, what they gonna do? Just get a couple of more customers that blow their back out. Cool, we help them with their fucking business. Like that's it.
Okay.
Kasim, man, cut it
No.
out, man. Nah, man.
What
I
do you
got
say?
it, man. Toss
Kasim
Kasim
said
toss some
yes.
yeah, man.
They will
One
marry.
will marry, and three of them will be fighting and mad, hating on each other because
All
they.
20 of us smack. All 20 of us know it's a hoe. We ain't all got to smack. We all either smack, know it's a hoe, downright proof, evidence, no, everybody know. And one of us gonna marry, one man out of that 20 gonna marry?
Yes, one of them will marry her. Absolutely.
Damn, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
That shit crazy, bro. Y'all niggas crazy. That shit
It's
wild.
crazy.
Not y'all particularly, but
Can y'all hear
not
me?
not y'all particularly, but them
Right.
dumb niggas, the ones that y'all said to marry.
That
Damn.
shit sound.
What you
That
got,
shit
Venus?
sound wild.
I just came to say, hoes are definitely winning. They get married all the time, and I agree with Scam. I think the advantage that they do have from dealing with all those men is that they learn men very well, so they know how to like kind of placate toward you guys' ego and appear however you want them to be, and like have you in a place where you love being around them, and they're good at sex, right? Because they've been having so much sex. So I think it's kind of easier for hosts to get a man than anybody else, low key. Like if they really want
And
to.
they share and them and her and hoes share that sex with that man. He cool with that? Like
Yes,
she
they
not she
are.
So
Sherry, y'all
no,
talking
the
about
thing
getting
with
married? So y'all talking
the
like an
thing.
ex hoe? That's why I say I think they marry women that get in whole phases, but like that, a phases
So
don't last for a
let's
long
be
time.
honest. We gonna be honest. The only reason y'all really care, like I'm gonna be honest, men have very fragile egos. If y'all weren't concerned about what other men think, y'all wouldn't even care. Half of y'all would
That's what
not
I
care.
said. That's what I'm saying. So a whole phase, women can get away with the man not knowing that he was marrying a hoe. You might be on Facebook, one of the fucking few 5,000 friends she got when she posts pictures that can like some shit or rumor some shit, but her and her fucking life and her family ain't nowhere near y'all to be even affected by that. So
This
we
is why
talking about the
women.
man know he marrying the hoe, not we knowing this is a hoe.
Okay, I know you don't like using celebrities, but I'm gonna point to them for one reason. Um, they're just at a point in life where they don't have to care what other people think. So they will get with a hoe and bring her to every red carpet and marry her and not give a fuck. Because men who are in positions who would truly could do whatever the fuck they want, they don't care. I think that's like a thing for men who care way too much about other men instead of what they actually want.
You think that marriage be genuine?
Yeah,
Like,
because them niggas know they ain't shit either. I think it's a little bit of delusion with y'all. Like y'all be expecting perfection when you know what the
I don't
fuck
know.
you was doing.
I just see. I think my view might be jaded because I done seen so many times the world get caught up in the new celebrity marriage, and then when that shit all falls down, and the same old shit happen a year, 2 years, 3 years later, and money being involved, achievement, and all this other shit be like, it be like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
Damn.
bro, they
But we could say the same for the regular people who get married and that shit fall apart too, right?
yeah,
So I
but
don't think it's about that.
but I'm just saying, like, if they didn't really care, you feel what I'm saying? If they really didn't care about that shit, then why they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Why are they breaking up for those reasons?
Hey, Bino, let me ask you a question. Do more men talk about marryable women or talk about hoes and body counts and all the bullshit?
Do what?
Do most people talk about, let's take men's, do
Mhm.
they talk more about the women they do want or the ones that they allegedly don't?
Do they talk more about the women they do want Like
Or
what
the
you
one
talking about? Like when we talking about some fantasy shit, like on what we talking about? Like I'm
okay.
asking you, like give me a little bit more.
Scam, don't be changing the subject mid conversation, okay?
No, it's the same thing. If dudes didn't want hoes, didn't like hoes, the fresh and fits and all these bimbos on Instagram to keep talking, it wouldn't be a conversation. Because they will be so in their phone looking for the marriable wives and cute and ones in
Hey,
community
bro.
service project, but they don't want them. It's not a conversation, or they know they don't
When
qualify.
you say the fresh
We're
and
going
fit
after the
looking
same
for
bimbos
bimbos
complain
and
about.
stuff, how old these niggas or something? 50 and 60 and something, a lot of money
Some
in
of
the
them
They're
dirt.
too.
both like mid-30s now.
I mean, like what we talking
Even
about?
40s and 50s.
And
Even
what
the
they
married
doing? You
men.
said what they doing? They what?
Even the married men.
No, listen to me. Well, so if they married, then why are we talking about them wife and a hoe?
Because they don't like their wife. They want one of these stank hoes.
Okay,
They don't like
all
their
right, so
wife.
I'm following you now. All right, so what do they want out of these stink hoes?
Something to fuck on.
So what do we talk? We talk about a nigga marrying a known hoe.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yes.
I ain't fucking with you no
Okay,
more.
Bino, we know he won't, but not because he doesn't want to. It's because he don't want y'all to know.
No,
So
because she won't say yes.
y'all will go your whole lives being unhappy because you care more about what the next man thinks than your own desire, which is
No,
crazy
it's
as hell
not
to
that
me.
we care. It's that it's 6-1 out here. Why the
No,
hell I'm a
y'all
marry?
definitely care. Y'all care. Y'all definitely care.
Okay, well, I guess it's some people that can all it ain't all, right? But majority men, why would I marry a known when everybody knows a hoe? When it's way more like, come on, man. Like y'all be trying to do extreme, like we be doing some wild
Well,
shit.
because you want that
Cause it
one. The
sticks out.
same
The people that do the wild shit
Bino,
stick
think
out. I
about
get
this.
it.
Think about this.
This shit.
The same
Wow.
reason the rich man who could get way more women than y'all will still choose the hoe because he want that one. That's why. Simple as that. I
We talking
want
about the
that
rich
one.
old man or something like that, man. Again,
No,
we
I
got
ain't
to.
talking about old
Let's
men.
take the young ones.
But you said the rich, but you got to put old in there too, man.
Everybody
No,
Or
who
take
rich
the
is
young
not
ones
old,
too.
Bino.
Take the
or you
young
got to
ones
put
too.
No,
Keep the
celebrity
household.
status and all this other stuff like image and all this
we
stuff,
like
man.
the
I think we just
hoes.
looking at it. Let's like so. How many people we know? Like, damn, that nigga, that dude married the neighborhood hoe. Like, how many out of the people you know that's married?
Well, I
Most
don't
people
see y'all
aren't
really
married.
marrying too much of
They're
nobody.
marrying
So,
hoes.
I mean, what I'm saying, like, I'm just saying, I
The
lied to
neighborhood.
you.
No,
Y'all
I'm
done
thinking
turned
of
this
some
I ain't
into
gonna
neighborhood
y'all
keep
done turned
fighting
this
hoes.
in
into
windmilling. I'm
a
just saying,
revolving
like,
door at this
I
point.
can't, I can't. It just, I think, whatever.
Oh, I do know one. Because I'm thinking about the neighborhood hoes, the ones getting their walls tossed and clobbered. One of them I know is not married, but she was in a long term relationship with another dude I know. She had a baby at 15. She was still giving it up as soon as the baby popped out. Baby out, dick's right back in. And
so you know what would make this argument solid, Bino? If
local
if
people.
more of the stand up women that you guys, whatever y'all consider, if y'all were marrying them, then it would be a clear, yeah, the men really don't prefer hoes. But the fact that the hoes and the so called non hoes are having very similar outcomes, that's what makes your argument kind of fall to pieces. It
The
really
stand
don't
up
seem
women
like
don't. And we talk about stand up women in a sense where they not hoes. Then you'll be asking the man to marry women at 18 and 19 and 20 years old, 21 years old, which is it's not going to happen at an all time high.
They're
Sorry.
right.
not
So you
going to
see
marry
what I'm
20,
saying?
50
So
either.
why should it? So I love that. So then why should a woman care? She's getting the same outcome as the woman who's
Yeah.
not moving that
Yeah.
way.
I'm not saying hoes not getting married. I'm just saying men is not normally knowing that's a hoe unless he just been assumed or something. You know what I'm saying? Because but like, just knowingly like, oh yeah, I know everybody in my town know this that they hit my hoe and I'm just going to Walmart with it and you catch me at the restaurant or at the basketball game with the kids. Like ain't that going on. Ain't nothing that going
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, I agree
No,
with you. I agree.
no, they know.
Okay.
They a high percentage of them know, and it is. How you gonna not know your wife was a hoe? How you hide that?
Yeah, see, I knew you was going to the assuming and all this other shit, but that's cool.
No, I wasn't saying
It's more than all women are hoes type of mentality. That's what you really got.
huh?
You got the all women are hoes type of mentality. That's what you really got. Just trying to
Who
make this
me?
shit sound cute.
No, I
Yeah,
never said that.
yeah. Because without you
No, I
knowing how
believe it.
you
I would say,
know, without
huh?
you knowing how you know, how do we know women are hoes? Women all dressed the same. They like the same makeup. They like the same clothes. They like the same music. They like the same hair. How you know it's a hoe without knowing it's a hoe?
Damn.
No. That got nothing to
How
do
would
with
how
at
would you
least
know though?
dudes marry hoes. That's
I
what
know
they
that. I know that. But how you know that man know he married the hoe? Where you seeing that at?
How
Where
do
you know
you
that at?
huh?
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
use the bathroom real quick. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I went to high school in a very public place. I've also lived other places throughout the country. And hoes move a certain way and they do a certain thing, a certain few things, some lovely things. And the dudes know it. And they catch feelings. They're like, baby, can you do that one thing one more time? Can you do it again? But baby, it doesn't have to be like this. You can change. I can change you. And there's a collection of them dudes. And then she picks from the ones of those and says, I want this one. Meaning there's more dudes on the sidelines mad. But why won't you call me back? She's like, I got work to do. Big Tony's here.
Not Big Tony.
The women are sitting here laughing because they know a friend or cousin and they've heard this stuff before. Women saying, look, man, I got to go sell a booty on eBay, Amazon, or...
You talking about through the sexual interaction and shit?
No, I'm exaggerating. Or
I ain't think about
or
that. Through the sexual interaction, I ain't think about that.
No, not just that, but in college. You knew the dude to smash this chick. There's a dude drooling because he's mad because he can't get her. When you finish with the cues, can you call me back, please?
Yeah, man. I mean, I know it's entertaining. I know it's entertaining to pull out these.
No. When I was in the military,
I know it's entertaining to pull out these little different points, bro. But let's not get into doing all that because we talking about majority of people. We can name certain instances and nuances and all that. Come on, man.
This whole argument on
most dudes can't get the hoes.
That are getting wifed up.
Come on, man.
They're the minority by a long shot.
We all can pick out weird ass shit that happen every day. Yeah, we know that.
Y'all can do these little one-off arguments to try to justify your party back in the day. It's an extreme minority.
No, okay. The minority are getting married anyway.
Women getting married is an extreme minority right now.
Do they love hoes? The answer is yes. So if it's not, are they all marrying them? No, not all of them are, because most people ain't married no way. Do they love hoes? The answer is yes.
Okay, I like it. One more question.
That just for us to go to the end and agree on the same fucking thing from the beginning. I said that shit. You know what? Go to the next fucking question. Fuck you, Sam. Nigga, that's literally what that nigga just said. It's literally what we was just saying for the longest, but he wanted to drag this shit.
Y'all said they don't love hoes.
I hope you step on a fucking net that's not banged into the floor, my nigga.
Hey, yo, the only reason why I say, bro, I probably did all that for nothing too, because when I think about it, like when if they have a sexual interaction with a woman, then you could pretty much know like she been around a little bit. And niggas, so I might was windmilling too much too. Matter of fact, when I think about it.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah, I did some extra.
But like everybody else knowing too, like that you around, nah, you know what I'm saying? You will know. You feel what I'm saying? But everybody, like people that you know what I'm saying, they ain't gonna know. People that you fuck with, people that you love, your homeboys and shit, they ain't gonna know. They ain't gonna know her.
Nobody knows.
Shoot, a couple of them hit it. What are you talking about?
That's the part that's the part that's I agree. Yeah, people wife shit like that, like on some relationship shit, not shit up like that, and be in relationships and having kids with people like that. But I was just talking about like the marrying part and shit.
Any of y'all been in the military? Oh my, CJ, you've been in the military, stationed on base somewhere, and you denying this?
Yeah.
You want army on a big base.
No, my denial was you in the beginning. You initially said that majority of the hoes getting married, and I said no. Any nigga will fuck the hoes, but as far as marrying, if he knows that she's a hoe, the odds of her getting married slim to none. And we're not even gonna do the military because I knew motherfuckers that was married out of basic and got divorced in 90 days. So everybody's fucking retarded. Yeah, that's why you laughing, my nigga. So don't even do the military.
That's true too.
My battle buddy to this day literally got married right after basic training and divorced before the end of his AIT. You know how long his AIT was? 4 months.
Right.
Yeah,
so no, we're not doing that. Don't even do military.
That's true too. But I'm saying is, dude go out in the field, a hoe got his car, she's driving to pick up the other dude. 2 weeks later, when he get out the field, they fighting in the club. 5-on-5 fighting the club.
Is he married though?
3 weeks later,
we know that happened. Yeah, dudes be Who's
let
in
me
a
let me reel
relationship with
Scam
her?
back in.
Some
Please,
of them, yes,
Strata,
are married.
please. Next question, cause scam, bruh.
I'm reel it
You don't
back
think
in
the
because I know
same
what
thing
it's
happened
turn y'all
with
Bro, this
right.
nigga
Joey
slipped in the
and
fucking shower, man. Like, god damn, bro. He really drunk that shit, bro.
Joe didn't do the same thing?
But women, but we all know women goal ain't to just be up in the relationship with a nigga. That ain't what they goal is. So they get stuck in a relationship that deal with them. But we talking about married. But my fault. All right, Joe.
I got you.
Hey,
Last
Strata,
one.
my apology for hogging the mic.
Oh, you
That's
cool,
not-
man. You cool, bro. We was having fun. Like I said, I like when we don't take tangents often. So when we go off on them, man, I let them kind of rock out maybe a little longer than moderators would. It'd be funny as hell to me. I like turning y'all up. Battle of the Wit is dope. So my last question for y'all for the night, though: why do women associate femininity with weakness unless a man activates it? So let me explain the question. Yeah, have y'all ever heard women say, "I'll be feminine to the right man," or if he wants me to be feminine, he's got to bring it out of me? Why do you think women associate their femininity conditional to the man they're with? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Cause they really, I'm going in a second. I gotta go, but cause they really won't win. They femininity really won't have them winning. Outside of that man making sure they could be feminine. Like they can't. Like feminine really won't work in the work field. Won't work in the army. It won't work. You know, in just places in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you asked me why they say that, and I think that's why they. You know, just if you want to ask me why they say that. You know what I'm saying? I think probably a little bit as to why they say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I
almost
got
like that.
you, Bino. My bad,
So
because it's a question and a question. Now I'm looking at it, right? Do you think women think femininity is weakness? Let's start there. Let's start there. I think that's a good question to start with.
The world has made it seem that way, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Brittany, do you find power in being feminine versus like if you had let's say we split up your personality type and the archetype of being masculine and or feminine? Um, would you say your femininity when you're in your femininity, do you deem yourself to be weak?
No. Mm-mm.
You find power in your femininity?
I do, yeah. I mean, we as women can use that and finesse any situation if we truly wanted to.
Okay. Which one do you think you revert to more, your feminine nature or your masculine one?
Feminine.
Like it, I like it. Javon, the same question. Let's ask you personally, do you think you associate your femininity with weakness?
CJ, step back from the camera.
I'm just here for the question. Like,
Back up a little bit. Is my feminine weakness? No, it's not. I do like where Brittany spoke to for as the workplace, though. I would not to elaborate. I'm a female in a male predominant workplace. Uh, if I were to act in my uh, feminative or whatever the word is,
yeah, because you was chopping that word
oh,
up.
boy, you know my English bad. Uh, hey, look, I would make a whole lot of things happen. I would have my way. Now I'll leave it as that. And CJ and scam, I'm pretty sure y'all know what that means. However, I like to operate and just me just being myself. And I think in the workplace, I think I'm a little bit more masculine a little bit. These people, they're not my friends. This is my job. And I don't want I don't want a guy that I'm working with to ever feel like they have the opportunity or the eligibility to cross that line into that
Does
feminine side.
do you feel like you're more firm on your answer? That I mean, does that necessarily mean that's equated to masculinity?
I feel like I'm more firm at work. I am. Now I ain't gonna lie. We joke and we kiki and stuff like that. However, I don't want them. I don't want a man to think that all right, just because he can offer some type of gesture or flirt, this, and this, that this is what it is because it's not. And I've seen it happen a lot of the times with a lot of females that's in the military.
Fellas, y'all got any follow ups? Because I think we're all kind of processing what the ladies are saying. Y'all got any follow ups with them?
Um,
No, I kind of already said it in that way. But I'm just confused because like when I said like when when you first asked it the first way, I was like, is a weakness probably they look at it probably like that outside of like work in the world and dealing with shit they gotta do with it in the world. So they say they don't, but if they don't look at it as a weakness, then it's a strength, right?
Yeah.
That would be the
And if it's
assumption.
a strength, why you don't use it?
Good follow up, ladies. What y'all
Because of
think?
fear of judgment. That's why.
Me being
Oh,
Because
feminine.
then,
So
but
you want me to
y'all
use?
say it's not a weakness. Y'all understand it's a strength, but everybody knows. I think we all can agree. You even say you don't act on that what you don't think is a weakness. So we agree that's a strength. You don't
Uh-huh.
act on it. So it's like why? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that just confused me. I thought y'all thought it was a weakness. Like I thought it was a strength. That just fucked me up. Why y'all don't act on it if y'all know it's a strength?
So you want me to act on being very feminine, to being a whole lot of kiki small, and this
Mm.
is
I don't want you to. I just a follow up question. If y'all recognize it as a strength, but y'all also recognize that y'all don't use it as the strength that y'all know y'all have, I just want to know why.
No,
no,
I
Why?
didn't
because
say
Why
I
I
if it's
feel
not?
like
Why is it not? Why is
mm,
it not a weakness then? In
I
that
didn't say
sense.
I didn't use it. I didn't say I didn't use it.
one, I don't use it one
I
because
don't
I feel like
recommend Giovanna using it in the military.
CJ be nice to
Brittany, I
me.
don't know, but a woman being extra feminine scam, I'm pretty sure you
Not,
can understand. A woman being extra feminine in the military, outside of 42 Alpha, you might not want to
and
do
not
that
even the
shit.
military. I done
Wait,
heard
first of all, hold
conversations
on.
where
Wait a minute,
women say,
CJ.
"Why I gotta be I don't got why I gotta be feminine, why I gotta nice, why I gotta be smart to every man." Because like inside that question, you said outside the man, right, Strata?
mhm.
So
Yep.
like we heard many women say that. Both of y'all scams. I know we all can agree. We heard that. They said, "Why I ain't gotta do that if it ain't my man?
See,
Why?"
that's why I said
But
fear
I'm
being
hearing two
judged.
women say they recognize this as a strength.
Okay, so Bino, to answer your question, for me, I'm way too intelligent. I'm way too ahead of my peers to even entertain that nonsense. And it's not me being cocky or whatever the case may be. I know who I am.
Mhm.
There, CJ, don't do that. There's sometimes I'm gonna talk much, and there's sometimes
That
I
neck
don't.
is
I'm more
gone.
quiet. But I'm ahead of my peers, and there's sometimes I'm not about to use because at the end of the day, I don't want nobody to say that they had to do something for me. No, I earn what I get, and such on. If I don't get it, that means I ain't doing enough work to earn it, and that's that. So in the military, a lot of people sometimes they throw some stuff back in your face, or whatever the case may be, and I just had to move accordingly. So when it comes to bending or breaking the rules for anybody and stuff like that, I'm very mindful. So my intelligence, my skills, and my mindset take me places that my peers haven't been yet. That's why I don't use my femininity or whatever word it is. I mean, being
So outside the military,
I know I'm messing that word up.
outside the military, do you when you just
Outside the military,
mhm.
um, outside outside of, why come home? Why come through these doors? I'm a 110% woman. Look, I've been smiling very hard since a few hours.
This makes me confused because what are y'all associated with? Because I hear kiki and laughing. So you trying to say we can't laugh at the job? You trying to say we can't smile at the job? Is that what are we equating to being feminine? Is that what I'm understanding?
Y'all
So
were
Brittany,
talking.
I think sometimes that there and sometimes in their lie it's quid pro quo or what that man think that he can get from that woman. And I share that to say like
Yeah,
when I
that ain't
left
got nothing.
Afghanistan in like what 2010, I should have left with a higher rank. Since I decided not to partake in some type of sexual activity with this guy, I left in a lesser rank. So that's where I like, yeah, on the military side, that's where that lies. And then on the civilian side too, I'm pretty sure there are some young women that may have or may have not experienced that type of situation.
But I don't think that matters as being feminine because you probably got a woman who lives in her masculinity and he still will probably be quick for whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because if he truly wants her, all he sees is a body. He ain't studying how she is coming off, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding this where we're going with what it is, first of all.
Right.
Because just smiling and whatnot, I don't think that's being feminine. You know what I'm saying? That's just who you are as a person. Like, so I guess to me, what do y'all? So let me ask the fellas, what do y'all mean by femininity? What are y'all
Oh,
saying? What are y'all
Not
looking?
loud,
hold on. So
soft
real quick.
spoken.
Hold
No,
on,
no,
real
no, hold
quick.
on. Hold
Hold
on,
on, real
CJ.
quick
Because
before
I'm
you.
I want them to
confused.
think through this. I want them to think through this. Because
Right.
again,
So
the
real quick,
femininity.
so Brittany, just for you, just real quick. So you said about the smiling. It's not about the smiling because I can act masculine, and I can still get the same thing on the military side. It doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter. I act feminine, or masculine, because I know me and people
But
know who I am.
Giovanna,
So
Giovanna,
Yes,
I
because
want Giovanna, when y'all having this conversation, at least for this part, I do want you to take it outside of yourself and outside of the military, only because it's gonna
It's
highlight,
its own world.
yeah, your exclusivity that most people that don't and haven't been wouldn't be able to relate to. So I want you to kind of take the conversation and the question off of you, and let's walk Bino's logic train. If we're saying that femininity is a strength and you all don't see it as a weakness, I believe, Bino, your question was, why don't
Why
they
they don't use
present
it?
and why don't they use that more if they deem it to be a strength? Why isn't it used more?
I don't need it.
what what you say you what?
I don't.
Damn.
Great.
Oh, you don't need it. Okay.
I don't. I
We
don't
talking
need
about
the. Do I need that? I need that more masculine. I need that more feminine. I'm a little lost.
we talking about just the workplace, or we talking about dating
In
men?
Everyday life.
general,
Yeah, we
I
just
mean,
walking Bino logic train because again, they both of them said that their femininity they see it as being strength and strong, and so he's asking if that be true, why doesn't it show up more frequently, and why isn't it perceived as a strength when you're taught and you're dealing with other women? Why isn't it perceived to be a strength, or
Yeah.
why isn't it used if
because
it
of
is a strength?
society. I guess because of society, and then you got some women who have been independent for so long, so that femininity kind of fades, and I got to do this, this, this. So now they have to take charge in or whatever the case may be. So that leads versus the femininity part of it. So why they don't use it is probably because of that, because they don't have anyone to make them, I guess, rest there in it. They would
Yeah.
But
rather have
Because it's like,
someone
because
to
at the end,
so
because at the end it say unless a man activates it, you know what I mean?
right,
So,
right.
so that's why I was like, because like when was it? Because like that's what people like. Oh, I'm I want to be in, a man got to make them be in their feminine energy or whatever. And as we
So
talking, I'm
so
thinking like men can't do that. They maybe can't do that because men take advantage of it. You feel what I'm saying? Like say for instance, like just the passive, non-argumentative, non-aggressive, like you know what I'm saying? That's all like feminine energy. Can we agree? Like those type things? Or nah? I'm just minding through it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
no. So I have a question though. Like
Because the
there's
answer
some
I never
times
heard that
where
answer before that Peach said, you feel me, Strata? I never heard them like say they understand it's a strength. They don't look at because I said they look at, we I can understand why they may look at it as a weakness as a man. I'm thinking I can understand why they look at it as a weakness outside of that man activating because how the world is. So to hear like, nah, they understand it's a strength and they can use it to get what they want, but they don't. So I'm like, why?
but at the same time, okay, Bino, so I got you know. So there are
Uh,
some times like, all
the
right, so I
hoes
have
know how to
conversations
do
with
it.
my sister, and it's just like everything don't have to be. What you say?
Fact scam. He said them hoes know how to do it. Like what I was saying earlier. Yes, they do.
Yeah, Vinny did say
Oh, I can't speak to that. So it's just like, all right, so you can have conversations like women. We can have conversations with other women, and we can have those type of conversations. And to speak on, I kind of lost my thought process a little bit. His comment, however, but women can have other conversations with other women that's gonna hold them accountable in certain situations, but it doesn't mean that they have to be. There are some women that are looking to be very feminine and utilize that process in certain situations, and there's some that's not. And
I wish I
there are
had
some situations, there's some conversations women they have with each other and help to identify those type of situations. So if they're the women that fall within that category, they have those conversations and move forward.
Strata, can I address this? Because I have a different outlook. Okay.
For sure.
First of all, I think the answer nobody is saying is a lot of women don't know how. to use that power. That's the real shit.
Mhm.
Okay. I think some of us, yeah, have an awareness at this point that it's a power, but it's also like a skill that you have to nurture, right? So those women that you see who are very good at it, if you look at their environment, you'll kind of see why they might have come up under a woman who's like that, right? Like their mom might have been like that, their grandmother might have been like that. They might have had certain types of men around them. So that energy was like fostered, right? So the one thing is, I do think it can be viewed as a weakness because in certain environments it just is. Like if you come from the hood or you come from harsh circumstances, you can't necessarily be the nice little dainty. You get walked on for that, right? And
Mhm.
even sometimes dealing with men because the same way the women are out of order, the men are too, right? So they're not properly fostered and they're masculine. So when they see feminine, some of them don't, they mishandle it too, right? So then she's combating all of that. And now she feels like I have to have a tougher exterior to navigate these environments. I think the problem is once you're outside of those environments, there needs to be like a mindset shift because once you truly understand that femininity is a power, it would be in your best interest to use that power. And I want to say even outside of a man because um as an entrepreneur who serves women, women even respond well to feminine energy. Everybody responds well to feminine energy. So it benefits you in business. It benefits you in relationships. Like if you could really nurture that, that goes like it goes across way better. Just even I think outside of a man. But I do understand what they mean because when you're with a man who doesn't make you feel emotionally safe, he doesn't make you feel that way. You are gonna have sort of like a wall up and a harsher stance with him. So I understand like both sides, but I think the honest truth is the women who don't use it, they don't know how to use it yet.
Mm. Y'all some
You know
smart
what?
women, man.
Yo.
Damn, that's y'all all right with me.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, man, I think that Venus, like what's crazy is Venus reminds me when she was speaking, I was thinking about one of my older cousins. She's like a big sister. And she wields her femininity wherever the fuck she goes. Like no matter scenario, rhyme or reason, she's always in this feminine pocket. I mean, she got, healthy relationship, all that. But no matter where she's at, no matter where she goes, she turns. Now, this is where I think that it's kind of funny because I think most people call her delusional because in her mind, she creates her reality. So wherever she goes, she changes the temperature of anybody around her, no matter where we are, no matter who it is. We're talking about from the most gangster peoples to the most corporate of rooms. And I think that to Venus's point, it's an art to doing it. But most people, when they see it done, they appreciate it. Right. And so I think that if while trying to practice femininity, your first thought is I don't want to receive the unwanted attention from men that I'm not interested in. I can see how that would deter you from wanting to activate it all the time. But I think that pleasantness, like there's a baseline of behavior that I think when you're talking about a woman, we can say makes them look very feminine, but there's just a baseline of pleasantness that comes with it, right? I think that operating in the baseline of where you're not rude, you're not disrespectful, but you're also not being overly suggestive can kind of it's a balance. It's like a tightrope because if you do it too much, you can mislead those around you. If you don't do it enough, you might be misunderstood. So I do think there's a line that has to be walked, but I do think to Venus's point, when you can figure that line out as a woman and walk it correctly, you realize that your femininity is not conditional on anybody because it always goes with you. It's not conditional on the man, not conditional
Mm.
on the scenario. It's always with you. So whoever encounters you, they can experience it. And I do think that you got to have levels to it, right? So the what you would do in your feminine with your boyfriend is not how you would handle the guy checking you out at the gas station, right? It's not the same level of expression, but the femininity is the baseline. Does that make sense? And I think sometimes we confuse femininity with flirting and attraction, and I don't think that's the same thing. Am I tracking this right?
Right. So
You
try
you
to
making sense to
so
me.
so try to. I'm 110% with you, and the way that you said it, I wish Brittany would have said it for me on that aspect, but but no, it's totally the same. There's some people they're like, am I not supposed to use female? I'm supposed to use women, right? There's
Women,
some women,
Women with a Z.
huh?
women
Women
with
with a Z.
Women. There are some women that it's easier to connect with, to talk, and to motivate, and to grow with, and build with. 110%. Like what you just said, 110% correct. And there are some women that's just like, you know how hard it is to get African American women to be on the same team, or a lot of strong women to be on the same team. It is very hard. So therefore, some of the stuff you just said, it makes it a little bit more challenging. Or there's some times when you get a few alpha females, or like, I don't want to say alpha females, but like-minded females to get on one accord. I'm getting back to you. I don't know
You
who
know
that
what I
is. But
think about
sometimes
what
it
you're
makes it a little
saying.
bit more challenging for that, or whatever the case may be. But for whatever that you just said, for everything that you just said, it's true. So therefore, because a lot of times in the workplace, you see a lot of catness, and it sucks. Or on social media, you see a lot of catness. But for those entrepreneurs that are women, that are for women, by women, for women, or whatever the case may be, it's a great thing to see. But sometimes in the back channel, it's a lot of catness. And those are things that's like some of us we try to avoid. But it is a great thing to see when we do when we do unite and get together. It's a great thing to see, and it's very powerful. Very. Oh, scam got that look in his face. Oh,
No,
I
I'm
want.
I had a question
trying
because
to let
I'm
Venus go because she's mad at me for cutting her off yesterday.
Yeah, let's go to Venus and then we'll go to Scam.
I'm trying to. What's your name? Giovanna.
Yeah, Giovanna.
I'm trying to follow where you're going. I guess as it pertains to like your understanding of femininity, and it seems like you kind of keep talking about like other people, and I guess I'm trying to understand like where do you stand on the feminine thing, right? Because you're talking about like groups of women and being catty, but we're trying to figure out like what. Well, I guess I was trying to understand what your perspective on femininity is, like you
okay.
personally.
So my personal thing when it comes to women, um, just the background. It's not. I'm really more masculine when it comes to the background check of women. However, um, I am for women empowerment, knowledge, accountability, self awareness, amongst other things. I hold us to a standard that we probably don't hold ourselves to be honest with you. However, I'm a even though I have my profession, I do have side businesses. So I'm all for women in that manner. Like we want to sit and talk, we want to go do this and this, I want to build with you, listen to you, this and third. I'm here for it. However, I'm going to hold us accountable. And I'm that friend, I'm that no friend that will hold you accountable. So I
You
never want you to
didn't
think
say
that I'm
anything
not for
about.
women.
You're not saying nothing about femininity, or I don't know if it's me. I'm not.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting at earlier because when she was like, "We smile," like we can't smile now. That's showing femininity. So that's why I was asking, like, what are we saying is actually that? So when you were saying catty, is like we can't laugh now. So I guess we were just trying to figure out, Javon, though, like from your standpoint, what does it mean to you when someone says, "Are you in your femininity, like your feminine side?" What does that look like to you? I think that's what we were just trying to get clarity on.
Okay, so is that with the public or that with my man? That's totally different.
We talking
Everybody
about
don't
in
have the
general,
same.
like
Just
you was giving, yeah, you was
a
giving to
general
us.
census of what feminine energy is to you. What does that look like?
Um, me being feminine.
You
I guess
can't
I
say
can't really
that.
explain that to y'all because I'm not feminine, maybe with too many females.
So it's conditional. So it's basically like you want you
Wait,
think
no, wait. It can't even be conditional if we can't identify what it is,
I don't
right?
know.
So I'm trying to understand like what.
So, as a woman
Mhm.
asking me to be feminine, or what is it being feminine? Maybe I need more female friends. That's what I need.
I think that might be more of a that's good too, but maybe more of a self thing. Um,
Or
to
maybe I'm
explore.
feminine and I'm having a hard time explaining that. Because I have female friends and they're pretty dope and they're successful too, but I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
having a hard
so
time explaining it.
Feminine, like I feel like you are feminine because like you dress, like I seen you in dresses and things like that. That could be a style. You know what I'm saying? That could be associated with it. So I know you are. It's not like you just wear all pants, no dress. You know what I'm saying? Because some people equate that to it as well. So the style of, and then like you said, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, like far as nurturing, like being a little comment where he ain't said it none since I came back, but motherly, he said, "Oh, you motherly." I'm like, well, dang, I can't be that person, but that's just who I am naturally. So that's what I'm saying. So maybe we were just trying to pull it out of you, like, what do you mean by that? Because the stuff you were saying, I'm like, that's just generic, what everybody is doing, just laughing, talking, having a good time. That's not to me what femininity was. So that's all we were trying to get at.
yeah, because your demeanor, even the way you're talking, I think you present very feminine. So I don't want you to think
Right,
I'm not wasn't saying you come off that way. What I was trying to get at is if you like are aware enough to identify what are the feminine qualities. So not saying you don't have them, but maybe uh taking some time to understand what those are, because that's how you kind of master that, right? I was talking earlier, like those women, they understand very well. And so for those of us who want to nurture that skill, we need to understand like what those things are first and foremost, and then we could like start nurturing things, but we have to know what they are first.
I was going to answer the question.
go ahead.
Scam, damn, you just can't never let like God.
It was
Let her
quiet.
pass.
Oh no, she was coming off mute, Cam. She was coming off mute. She had just tapped the phone.
Oh,
What
go
do you
ahead.
want to talk about femininity for?
Huh? Men's can't talk. It's all. Go ahead, women's.
I'll get back to you, Scam. Hey, Javon, did you respond?
You back on mute, Javonda.
I'm sorry. I had to ask. I had to phone a friend real quick to ask about my feminine sensitivity, emotional intelligence. What else?
You know how to just stay harmonized through chaos.
Stay harmonized through chaos.
It's like a good feminine energy.
Hey, tell bro
Thank
get
you.
up.
Hey,
Bring bro on camera because at this point
Whoever's
you just
look
talking,
at
repeat.
him
just
though.
come
That's
to the
crazy. So
show.
you
Like,
just
why are you so
naturally in it. You don't
earnest?
even know what the fuck you
Hey, big
doing.
dog.
You just like I don't motherfucking know. I'm just me. I'm just
Hey,
a
big
goddamn
dog.
woman.
Hey,
I
I'm
don't
big
over
know.
here
dog.
like, nigga,
Big dog.
I just sneezed and went
Hey, that's
front to
much of
back.
me.
I don't
That's
know
Hey,
what's
big
going
dog.
on.
Hey, big dog.
Big Dog
Front
ain't
to
coming
the
on camera.
Well,
She
at
said,
least
I
tell
just wake
me
up
what
like
you
this.
want.
What
I
you
can
mean?
respect that.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
me.
basically like shit, I don't
ooh.
know. I'm just god
I had
damn
to
it.
ask. But
I'm
I
just
really had to
me.
ask.
That nigga spanked it all. That's all. That's enough. That's
I
enough. He
said,
spanked it.
no,
And
I'm
he
trying
got
to
a
check to
chef
see
for
what. No, I'm
luncheon
trying
and
to see what
everything.
quarter the
That's
game is on.
I
So do
could
you,
be petty, but I'm gonna leave it alone. But he didn't really describe feminine traits. But we you know.
Okay.
Okay, so
But
what
It
are
sounded
the
like
feminine traits?
stoicism when he said staying calm in the middle of chaos. That's a stoic trait, right?
oh, he said
Like
stay
a
calm.
Huh?
yeah. We don't gotta do too much with that.
What
But
else he
I
say?
think he said emotional mature. We said
Intelligence.
emotional intelligence, which is like I think gender neutral.
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
you
And I
emotionally
could be
intelligent
petty.
as
I'm
a
gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
yeah, but I think when you as a
So
man, we look
emotional
at it like if
intelligence
you're
and emotional
emotionally intelligent
discipline.
as a woman is put you like I think we say that I think we think as men as a whole like that put you in that natural woman type of thing that men want type shit. I guess maybe or no. I'm asking y'all, what y'all think, Strata, CJ, Scam?
So
I can
so
kind
I
of
do have a
understand what he
question.
mean as a man. You feel me? I understand that translation, but I can understand why she's still like. I can understand what Venus saying. How it's missing her. You feel
But
me?
no, I have a question. So what does it mean for me to be feminine? Maybe I need to identify that first. Understand what that means.
I
So
said
better
earlier,
translate.
like more of a passive, non-aggressive um type of vibe. I hate to say it again, but soft. So that means like soft spoken, not loud like a man
Soft.
is, not aggressive, not brolic. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Um,
Ladylike.
and things when you're in trouble, I think feminine imagery is a strength when you ain't even in trouble. You know what I'm saying? People are less likely to want to hurt a woman that's aggressive and that plays victim or plays soft or weak. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it's like little stuff like that. Like I'm not saying weak, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even it's a strength even in endangered situations for real. People want to help. You know what I'm saying? Women that's in feminine energy and not, you know what I'm saying? So like
Okay, so Venus, is that your same? I see part of your name. I saw somewhere else come earlier. Is that your same definition of a woman being feminine? Feminine? Shit, my English is bad tonight. Feminine.
So I think it's going to be like, I don't think any of us are going to have the exact same answer, but I agree a lot with the things Bino said. Yeah, pretty much. I kind of agree. Maybe there's more to add, but everything he said,
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
plenty of more. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
plenty more. Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it's soft. Did you say I
So
was
the main
soft? Am
thing
I
is
soft?
not the main thing. What I took from what he
I ain't
said
soft.
is not being a super aggressive, not being aggressive, right? Being more like passive. And we'll take that as weakness, but it's kind of smart. So it's kind of like being able to get your way without having to necessarily chase and pursue it, but being able to still get it, right? So it doesn't make you weak, but not being the aggressor and the pursuer of the thing, instead being like the receiver and the attractor of the thing. So like you still get the outcomes you want, but the way you go about things are different. It's kind of what as I'm learning about it myself. Because I used to think like, oh, that means weakness. You're passive, but no, those women are like really smart because they end up getting people to do things for them that they don't have to do themselves. Which I think sometimes the independent woman want to take too much, like you were saying earlier. Because everything I get, I heard you was like, everything I get, I work for, and I was thinking in my head, shit, if I get somebody else to do it, that's a win. I don't need to work for everything. We were what? No. I think
Oh,
it's just
okay.
a difference in, but also like your energy, like how you present yourself, how you talk to people. I think like Bino said, like just a natural energy, like his cousin. Like no matter where she goes, she kind of because she operates a certain way, people kind of adjust to her, right? Instead of her being in masculine, trying to force people to adjust to her, because of the way she shows up, they just do it. It just seems like it's easier. So I see why the men say like, if you know it's a strength, why are you not using it? I kind of agree. I think we didn't know. That's why I said I think we didn't know and don't know how to. But we need to learn how to because I really feel like it's easier for women that way. Like I really do.
Okay, I got you. So that logic. Okay. So my bad. I should have asked you what that definition meant to you probably a while ago, because being on the way they know me and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit soft. Not a little bit.
You're
I'm really
not
big.
soft,
That's
Giovanna.
bad.
You're not soft.
Soft spoken.
So,
Plushies
She
are
mean like
soft.
soft spoken. She
so
talking about soft
90-day-old
spoken.
puppies are soft. You're not soft, Giovanna.
all right. So
You're a grizzly bear
Can
that
we
ain't
say
hungry
like
right
soft
now.
mannered? Can we say like soft mannered?
Yeah,
Because
soft
when we
man.
stop at
yeah,
soft, like it get, can we just say soft mannered? You feel what I'm saying? Y'all
you.
skin is soft, your body is soft, y'all touch is soft, y'all healing is soft. It's
So
supposed to
so
be
so I say
soft
again,
mannered,
you're a
man.
grizzly bear that's not
Yeah.
hungry.
But no, dude, I'm literally the only person
Y'all
walking
protection is
around.
soft. I had wrote a
Wait,
post
what?
saying, you know what I'm saying? We know we supposed to protect you for the world, but at night, it's really the women that can make a nigga feel safe at night by when he hold on to her. That make y'all feel safe. They make the man feel safe because he holding on something that he could trust. He holding on something that the world, like you know what I'm saying? Like he almost getting away from the world when he hold on to that right woman. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a protection for him. It's an emotional protection. It's a mental protection just for that night. You feel what I'm saying? So it's shit like that. So when we say soft, we just mean like soft mannered type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
No, so I was getting there. So CJ, don't be like that. I'm literally the only person walking around at work all day saying be nice. Cause they've been cussing each other out. Some I think at work I am soft a little bit, just a little bit. This whatever you was doing earlier, that. so so at work, yes I am, but so no, I do agree with what she's saying and stuff like that. But I think it's a well balance. I think it comes with a little bit balance as into being soft and being how you say emotional intelligence and stuff of that nature. It comes with balance, like just like anything else.
And to be fair to you, you're in the military, so you know
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do. That's
I
that.
am feminine. I don't know what I need to prove. I can't prove nothing to y'all. However, momentarily, I am very I am very feminine.
No, you
Even at
you
work.
appear that way to me. Like I said, I think your demeanor is very pleasant. I don't see you getting like super defensive or anything. But when you talk about like the way you think is where I hear it. Like, well, anything
Yeah.
I get, I gotta work for. And like your ideology says very masculine. But again, you are in the military, so that's fine. Like you kind of have to be like that. I understand it.
Right, no, but I would
But
say
she
just like
is
any
though, Venus.
women
I
in the
knew her since
community and
like I
stuff
knew her
like
since
that.
middle school. She's always been like this way she's mannered right now. She always been like that. So I'm like, what she acting like she ain't for? What's going on? I don't know. I'll call you later. I'm like that because maybe she just act like this with us now. Like she's been like this growing up is what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying? Like to like I never seen her out not out. You know what I'm saying? Have you Strata? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know she
Strata
can
knows
like
who that
she'll
is.
beat niggas up and fight them, but
No,
them niggas
Strata
be
knows me in my
wilding and
college
shit.
years.
They be
Strata, no,
wilding.
Strata knowing me in school and college years. But stop. You telling my business.
Yeah.
Look,
All right, my bad, my bad.
Huh? but no, so I understand it, but I wish there are some times that from women that have helped in the work or learned on a different perspective from other women, we share those experiences. So that more women don't have to go through what we already been through and things of that nature. I mean, I'm pretty sure Brittany has some stories and stuff that she probably can share from her personal experiences with other young ladies and stuff like that. So to help them be more feminine and be in that feminine nature, or to have that strong but fair balance in the two of both.
Mhm.
Mm.
Y'all start talking about
Yeah.
business.
Let's see what Scam got before we go, because I want to hear
Eh,
what he got to say.
Damn,
No, I thought
man,
it'd be
we
quick.
get to a place where that might be actually a productive and lucrative thing to do because we get into a place, man. For
No, I
real.
don't have any dust. I was gonna say questions. Why do women associate femininity with weakness unless a man activates it? Couple things. If they don't like that man, he ain't getting the best energy. That's just what it is. Venus might like CJ. She's gonna act different towards CJ than she's gonna act towards me. That's just reality, and that's the reality that
No,
a lot of dudes
no,
won't
Venus,
accept.
Venus, Venus got that New York vibrato. She gotta fix that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Another one is a lot of I guess a trauma and pain thing. Just like they talk about dudes being vulnerable or people being they got burnt one time by Slick Dick Jimmy, and now they think they got to be hardcore because they gonna never get their heart broke again. And it actually means that now you can't get these decent men because you're acting all masculine or guarded. Now you can only go deal with them same dudes and go through it and just But it can come from pain, like they're told to be in a shell, or their mom or dad told them to be masculine, or you got to be tough out here. Woman is hard. It's hard out here for a woman. Or them dads that he's scared somebody's gonna get that booty, so he makes up some super Negro. Don't be open yourself up unless he's super Negro and owns full companies. So they don't. That's all I
Okay.
got.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna keep going in these them angry dads, them coward dads.
I think you. I
I
think
think
you on.
I think
You
it
on something,
definitely touched.
bro.
My fault. My bad. Go ahead,
You good,
Shredder.
brother. You good, bro. You got it.
No, I think it definitely turned into a skill that's a rare skill to like obtain and master, especially with society. I think society made it like that for sure for the women, like something they got to adjust. something they gotta like remix. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the same time, that shit can be, if you don't, like Venus had said when she said like turn to like it's a skill type shit. Like if you just do it because it's somebody say do it, it can put you in situations that's not good as well. So we can't get that confused neither. You feel what I'm saying? So that like the
Yeah.
skill part of what she said stood out for me. Like damn, they really might have to, you know what I'm saying, remix it, do some things different, and it might be a society thing you gotta adjust to. As society adjusts to something they have to maybe adjust to, you know. Um with that whole feminine energy type of vibe type shit. Like maybe
The
Add to that.
men gotta make women feel safer too. That's the thing.
So you're telling me I can't just yell talking points down your ear and you won't give me femininity in return?
You know what though? I'll say this, Venus, to your point. I think that when both genders present the way they do, everybody gets better results because we have a man that's walking up right into the world.
oh, he cheating about Monday. Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? No, no, no. I'm gonna bring it all the way back.
No, I'm bullshit. I'm bullshit.
But you
Look
get what I'm going with
at
that,
CJ.
you funny. But yo, check. So like you said, when you got a man that walks upright in his like his natural masculine state, I think that again the world around him it shifts, and I think that women they do it at a degree that they're comfortable at based on their scenario, and I think that that's the part that if it just presented, you know, and it wasn't conditional on anything, I think that they would find that some of the issues and hurdles that they're afraid of running into would never happen. Not never, you know, we don't use never and always, right? But I think that the thing that you're afraid of the most only comes true because it's always in the front of your mind, right? And so I think that how you go out into the world and what you get back, I think those things are correlated, right? So I think that some people and some things are just going to be what they are. But changing who you want to be based on said things that have or haven't happened is not gonna dictate what would and what won't happen. Meaning if somebody is on some bullshit with you, they're gonna be on bullshit with you. Has nothing to do with how you are. And I think that's when you go into more being a reactive person versus just being who you innately are. I think that it is a skill that is untapped by women. I think it'd be dope to watch them, you know what I'm saying, find a way to make the femininity we talking about a part of just their temperament.
Mm.
That's just who they are. Like it has nothing to do with anything outside of them, but this is who I am. This is how I'm showing up in the world. And
The temperament. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure. That'd be the baseline, right? I think I like that for the baseline, the temperament. And then I think everything else like just evolve and revolve around. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make one more point. I'm gonna share the mic and we're getting conclusions. To Venus and Scam's point earlier, I think that what happened is when we talk about hoes, strippers, and prostitutes, they've unlocked the key, but then they weaponized and demonized it. They weaponized it and took it too far. Meaning they understand what their femininity can do with men, and they only use it when they're dealing with
They only
men
use it sexually.
sex with.
Period.
From.
Sexually.
Yeah, they just use it sexually. But
Yeah.
I do think that there's a nuance there that they tapped into that most women, I think it would be hard for them to acknowledge it. I'm not saying women to be hoes. I'm just telling you, I think that subset of women, I can't put my finger on it, and maybe I'm not articulating it right now, but I think y'all get what the fuck I'm saying. They have a
what
way
we
of-
say
you feel me?
compartmentalizing it. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, like don't think strippers and freaking prostitutes is going on an everyday basis being the way they is when a motherfucker put $1 on them for some pussy or a dance. Like the motherfuckers is just as the ones we meet every day in the supermarket, every day in the gas station, whatever. Like don't get it confused. That's why I said when we talk about them now, we capping a little bit and
let's say when they're performing, let's say when they're in character,
yeah,
being whole,
and they doing that sexually. They doing that for sexual base.
That's a better.
Period.
I appreciate that. That is a way better than what I was doing.
They can
I hate when dudes try to use them because then you almost not you, but certain niggas when dudes be using that, they make us look dumb to not think women ain't smart enough to think that's what they think of. And that's what we talking about when we say it, and people just try to cover it up like that. No disrespect to the men, but cut that shit out. Stop using their ass for examples.
I think
Women can ragdoll more men with femininity than they can with the vagina.
I can agree that. I can agree to that.
They don't even have to give up the vagina. Just wave some femininity around, rub the man's neck, smile at him. Don't even get a vagina.
And sexuality is
Oh,
part
sex.
of it. You feel what I'm saying? So Strata, you right. They demonize just one part of it, but they only demonize that part. It's a part of being feminine, but sexuality, but they only use that for the part. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's more to that. They only use that.
Right.
So when we use them, we gotta understand that they act the same way we see an everyday woman that go to Home Depot, that work somewhere else outside of their job. They use that. You feel what I'm saying? But they
Is
be
that true?
So women
Because
can
yeah.
some of
smile
them,
again.
some of them just talk to men. Some of them just their energy, them being pleasant. Like all of them are not necessarily having sex, right? So I do think still outside of the sex, there's something about men they understand
Well,
and they know how to like just present that way.
well, when we talk about prostitutes and
It's our
strippers,
weakness. It's just straight up. It's our weakness.
when we talk about prostitutes and strippers, even if they don't particularly like have sets, well, of course not strippers, right? They just dance and would be naked and whatever they be naked. So I think that's still like they still like are enticing the man sexually. Am I saying it right? Or like, am I
Yeah.
saying it right, Strata?
Yeah.
Regardless if they're doing it,
So
they're gaining the
Are you
attention.
being honest about who men are? Because I think the part of the key to that is, yeah,
Nah,
um,
I'll be like, for example,
a
like
lot of you think about that first. So the woman that you have some sort of sexual preference for gets your attention in a different way. And
it
that's
gets your
just who
attention.
y'all are.
It gets our attention sexually. Oh, I thought we were talking about y'all and
It's
why
a
how
combo.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it could be a
saying,
combo. There
and
could be
how it works for y'all. It's more included into that is what I'm saying. It's part of being feminine is just not that. So when we use prostitutes and strippers, we mainly highlighting that part of the feminine shit. But like a motherfucker, you can have a lady opening up a trunk. A man might walk by, she doing her thing. He might not stop no more and say, "Hey, you want me to help you with that?" But he was like, "Hey, I need help with these bags. Can you help me with this?" And he not gonna say nah to a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like a part of being a feminine is part of like being soft mannered. I'm using bad examples, but I'm trying to like make
No,
it
you're not.
connect. You feel me, Strata? Like you feel what I'm saying? Like you
Examples
don't
no.
too.
gotta be
I
so
get what
tough.
you're
That's why I say passive, non-aggressive. I ain't want to say play weak because we know y'all not weak, but like sometimes y'all strength makes y'all worst enemy when you don't have to do things.
so Bino, I think
When a
nowadays like
masculine man is around outside of your man. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's men around the world. Like so we talking about feminine in a relationship, we talking about feminine overall, right? You feel what I'm saying?
Is
so
it knowing when
Bino
to ask for help?
to answer to that, I think there are some women in the world they're finding a challenging time. They having a challenging time trying to be feminine, and it's because men took advantage of a woman, then a woman being feminine.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Like so when you have like the pimps and hoe, like pimps and all the stuff like that, is a man using a woman.
Yeah, I
So
said that
when that
earlier. I
woman
thought that,
finally
but we didn't none of y'all said that. That's why I'm like, I thought y'all would go there, but y'all didn't. But I get what you're saying. Go, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut you off.
so it's just like women, they having a challenging time finding their strength, finding their new norm. If they're a woman that went through that and things of that nature, things of that case. So how you said when it comes to men in the workplace, so I would just say like, of course, my predominant, is men in the workplace. So if a man open the door, that's genuine. All right, you hold the door, pause it, pause it. I get it. However, when it comes to the car, you still open the door. I'm like, all right, just be respectful about it. So it's still loud because I know in the house, this is how I'm being treated. So there for me, as long as you don't take nothing else wrong with that, that's totally fine. As you know, this is I won't say a standard because military whatever. However, this is how I'm being treated, and this is how a woman should be treated by the thing. However, like you said on the first topic I was talking about, it's like women. Some women have a hard time finding their identity nowadays because of the whole men using women to make money and things of different natures. Like it sucks, but I mean it is what it is.
Let's
No,
go Jalen and then CJ.
go
I
ahead.
want to get Jalen in because you just can't pop back on the panel. Let's go Jalen and CJ. And I'm looking at CJ faces, laughing my ass off. I know it's about to be funny. But Jalen, what you got? Jalen. You're
What?
so we're talking about the femininity and how
I apologize.
you cool. We're talking about femininity and how it can be harnessed better and used in scenarios that aren't conditional. First, let's start. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think most women are aware on how to use their femininity?
Yes.
Do you think they use it in mass?
Yes.
Wake up, Jalen.
That's all. She about half sleep. But
No,
if you
I'm not. I'm just. Yes, women use their femininity to their advantage.
Wait, but black women, you see how we get the like black
It's
women are
for
masculine
most
thing?
women, it's a performance because we're only taught how to use it to attract men, not how to use it just for ourselves. Like this is something you embody for yourself, not just to attract somebody. Like this is who you are. That's not taught. We're just taught this is how you use your femininity to appease men.
got you. So do you think that outside of men and the men they're with, you think that women exercise their femininity throughout like just their life? Do you think that femininity is contingent or dependent upon them being in a relationship?
Yes, I think most women tend to talk about how they become more girly or they feel more soft when they start, when they get into a relationship. Like outside of a relationship, they're just, whoever they are.
That's the part that we would yeah, that's the part of the conversation we were at. So I'll just catch you up to speed. But I think you're right. And I think what you said, we identified, we walked it down, and that's kind of where we were going back and forth to kind of figure out where we were. I'm gonna give CJ put the button on this thing for us, and then we're gonna go straight to conclusions. 'Cause I gotta work tomorrow.
All
This
right,
is
y'all
dope.
hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
CJ, can you
Man,
not be disappointed one time when you come up to
man,
like
disappointed on so many levels. I think for the most part, what did I hear in this that I did like? The fact that Venus said that she feels that women just have femininity, they just don't know how to use it. That makes sense. I've never heard that being said like that, like ever. So that makes sense because I definitely can name women Jalen's age to women older than fucking Scam that casually walk around feminine, and the women I'm literally thinking of in my head don't have a man. They also ain't got no traumatizing fucking story to give for why they became softer women. They just like that. They just literally just like that on a normal day basis. You can't get them to be angry or scream and yell above a certain volume, and they smile, they're kind, the respect comes un without a condition to it. That's just who they are. But those type of women are obviously, unfortunately, the minority, the small minority. Most women aren't like that. So when she said that she feels like women just don't know how to use it, never heard it word like that. So it made sense to me. That's probably the only thing that y'all said in this whole conversation when this question came up that I liked. Everything else, I know Bino was saying a couple of things that I liked. I can't even remember half of it, but most of it was just like, what the fuck? Oh, man. I thought this was gonna be more in depth, more for to get to really dig into the brains of women with some of these questions. But I guess even some of these questions the women couldn't even answer directly because hell in the very beginning we wanted questions that was pertaining to the woman and they were quick to point the finger at the man. So that goes to show that they can't even answer these questions properly. So I guess we got to go back to the drawing board for some of this shit. Put your hands up because fuck
Wait,
you,
what?
you.
What? Wait.
And the fact that the individual that came off mute to speak on it, they literally know what I'm talking about.
I know.
CJ,
I
what type of
And
agree.
you're
women
not
do
the
you deal
only
with?
one, but
My
I mean,
God.
I wish you didn't even go on mute because you're just one of three. So it's just Giovanna saying that she's feminine. With Venus saying that you carry yourself feminine, you talk feminine. I agree, but then for her to verbally state her views on femininity, that's how you say it. Because how you could pronounce it right for nothing. That's how yeah. Try to say it. Yeah, try to say it. Yeah. It's the fact that she couldn't just downright just verbally say it. My only thought was it's the military. That's all I could think of. That I was like, Giovanna's very feminine, but when she's trying to verbally break it down, she has a hard time breaking it down. I said, that's the military. That's all that is. That ain't her. I don't even put the blame on her. That's just the military. Because even I would have been like, I get it. I get it. Why she can't just say it.
I'm just trying to see like how people are trying to see things, and
You're not gonna get it, Giovanna. It is what it is. Like I get why you responded the way you were doing it, and I get why Venus was trying to dig into you to figure out like your point of view on it, because obviously Venus is a civilian, me and you're military. So when I heard it, I understood why you was talking like that, and I also know you to know that you are in fact feminine. Even Venus pointed it out, but your response verbally obviously sounded indifferent on how you actually carry yourself. So to me, it actually made sense. I don't know how to explain it. And obviously, I guess you can't explain it either, but it made sense for why the response is that way.
well,
And I don't think that's
I
the
don't
case
think
because
nobody know how I
you're a
carry
doubly
myself because I
military.
don't
You
think any of
20 in,
y'all know
so
that. Maybe one, two, but
you might
It
have
made
to
me
get a couple
sad,
of
to be honest. Wait,
you
it
might
made
have to
me
do a couple
sad,
of
to be
side
honest,
quests of femininity. But
because it
it's
made me feel
cool.
like you don't know. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
made me
made
sad
sense
a
though.
little bit because it made me
Yeah,
feel like
it made
you
sense
don't
though. I get
know
it.
yourself is what it felt like. And again, I
Hmm.
understand why. Um, but yeah, it's like this thing that you're a part of now kind of becomes more of your identity than what your natural traits are. So when I'm asking you about you and you're having such a difficult time talking about yourself, that kind of lets people know like you might not be that in touch with yourself. And I mean, a lot of people aren't, but that's just what I was
Yeah.
getting from
And
that.
when we talk about military people and respect to all the military people, 20 years in plus probably
That's
to
why I saw
bonus.
that 20s. I don't care.
That's a
It's
big
gonna be over.
sacrifice because she is the military. She is the military. Like she is our
She
country.
is.
Like you feel what I'm saying? To the point that might happen. That's a sacrifice that might happen. But like that shit is honorable for real. So if that's the
Oh
case,
yeah, I
you feel
get
me?
it.
and Vina, I appreciate that. I will say
Yeah,
I am very mindful of my choice of words and what I do share,
yeah.
but I will say, and I'm too with myself. I am very much so. I'm too with other women and the way that people think society is supposed to work. Very much so. Um, I just try to be very careful with the way I word things and the way I say things. So, do I
Mhm.
know myself? I do know.
Yeah.
But just like I asked when I was on this live, hey, to get someone else's feedback, to say it in a different approach and the way that I may share it is a little bit different. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
right, right.
sure, anybody that's militant on this panel would know, or anybody that truly know me, or the guys that know that I'm very mindful of the way what I share and how I share it, if it makes sense.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Does it still come across in a feminine way? So we know who you are, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, salute,
Fuck
soldier.
scam because that whole shit about all hoes is getting married. Only most majority of hoes is getting married are hoes that the nigga that they married to doesn't know that she was a big ass hoe at one point. I feel like a lot of women at some point had a whole phase. Do I want to say majority? Low key, I'm at least say 51, 49. I really am. I know way more that had a whole phase at least once over the ones that didn't.
They got
It is
married
what it is. I don't
after.
care. Now they get married, cool. But if you
Yep.
told that nigga everything that you did during your whole phase, your odds of getting married would have probably dropped drastically. So keep it to yourself.
This has been a dope conversation. Because
Man,
y'all
this conversation,
been dope, bro. We got 3.5 hours. I think that I'm gonna tell you why I think it's dope, CJ. I think it's dope because we were able to disagree where we saw fit. It didn't. Nobody's yelled yet, right? So let's start there. Ain't nobody been called nothing not they name. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to
Probably was
me,
the loudest person here.
that's way more important. Like, I don't even mind discourse, but how you have it makes sense. Like, that's what I really pride. You know how we do it up here is that how you have discourse matters, right?
Right.
So that's why I said it's a dope show. Not that we agreed on everything because we don't, but ain't nobody leaving, feeling any type of way. I think that's what makes it dope. You know what I'm saying? We
I
trolled a little
can't
bit. We
wait
laughed.
for motherfucking
I know you ain't for
Monday. Y'all better. Y'all got time. Y'all already had time. Y'all got time to ask them questions. Venus, pull up.
Yeah,
Y'all
Venus.
got
What's happening
Monday.
Monday? I keep saying Monday. What's Monday?
All right, so Monday is gonna be the male version of this, where it's gonna be a bunch of questions that women want the most transparent answers from niggas. Y'all better give me some good shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think
I
about something.
I mean, give me some chef kiss fucking questions because
This
oh
nigga did the
God,
mafia
I
kiss.
yes.
That nigga did the
That
mafia
that part,
kiss,
hey,
the
you know
Godfather
that part
kiss.
might be longer than this one because
I'm going to
y'all know one's gonna be shorter
actively.
because I'm gonna get straight to the point for my shit. I'm gonna tell you right
I
now.
think
I'm
it's
going
simple.
to
Like,
actively
question get
give
answered.
nothing. That is what I will do.
Come
That is
on,
what I
Jalen.
invest at. I will give nothing.
I'm gonna ask
I
you
will
after.
give
You gotta be an active
1%.
participant, Jalen. Come on
But
now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
CJ,
ask you
Venus,
after. It's
Venus and
still.
Say
Jay
my
are both
name.
title certified.
But what did you say?
He said what?
You and Jalen, y'all are dust panel certified. Ain't nothing Monday really going to mean.
I'm dust panel
Dust
retired.
panel
I don't know what
certified.
you're
What does that
talking
mean?
about.
Nah, we rock with
But
them over here, man.
Strata, CJ, y'all should do this again because obviously CJ does not like the outcome, but that might be a more on a him thing. Like how I was kind of like
Is
pushing on Javonna, like tell me more, tell me more. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
he got to learn to kind of dig in a little bit more for answers he wants. So he mad at us because we didn't give him his answers, but he didn't really like inquire
mm.
further either.
No, he's mad because some hoes are getting married. That's what it is. Still in denial. Ain't gonna sleep tonight. Go on
I ain't
Facebook and
doing this with
look.
y'all tonight. I'm not doing this with y'all tonight. Everybody put a bow on it, man.
Mm.
It's a lot of us on the panel. Rapid fire. Anybody can go. Let's start with some conclusions, your
hmm
thoughts, opinions, and I will see all of y'all back here. Everybody, if you was up here on this show, you are definitely invited back on Monday at 7 p.m. And we're gonna do this same
Boy.
topic in reverse with men. So we would love to have y'all back to have the second part of the conversation. But again, real quick, rapid fire. Let's get some conclusions because y'all are cutting into my bedtime.
Man, they cutting into
Why
my
are you
brain.
so old?
Because it be like that, Jalen. I'm gonna be up at 3:30 in the morning.
3:30.
Is
Damn.
that what I gotta look forward to as an
My
old
second
person?
trimester asleep.
Mhm. That's the game. That's the game I signed up for. That's when I chose. So yes, y'all
All
be
right,
cutting my bed.
so solutions because I got a 0, 4:30, 5:30 wake up. We talked about accountability and all of that. When it comes to a woman, hey, take accountability. But I don't care
Mm.
what age you are, take accountability. Take whatever lessons that you don't learn in the past and put it in the next relationship, friendship, sexship, whatever you want to call it. Take it and go there. Self awareness. Sometimes you gotta stop and look in the mirror and do that 180 awareness or whatever case may be, 360, whatever you want to call it. Hey, do self awareness. Self awareness will teach you a lot. And not just self awareness is you just asking yourself, but self awareness and you asking your friends. Those people the closest to you, that's your know people. And they hopefully they give it to you raw, like the raw bunch pause. So that you can get a true assessment of who you actually are and what you actually doing in life. For as that. For as being feminine.
Damn, why you let out that?
Be feminine to the people that you need to be.
Tell them
Like
to tap into
everybody's like his thing when it comes to me, everybody's not accessible to me.
Mm.
And I don't know how all y'all carry your livelihood privately. I know some of my friends on this panel and stuff like that, what y'all do, but everybody don't have accessibility to me. And it shouldn't be that way. So there's some times that I may be feminine to this situation or that situation. But when it comes to my man in my household, that it is very feminine. And that's that. In my job, I work a certain way and I do things a certain way. And when I talk to other females and have female friends, is that. And we have those conversations and it flourish, you know? There's no catness or anything like that. So we have those when we can be feminine, go do feminine things and let down our guards or whatever, and have those challenging conversations when it comes to friendships with other females or relationship with guys. So,
Okay.
but I'll challenge other women to do that and not be against each other because we're pretty dope when we together. No land there.
Anybody else?
Can I go next? I got a drop shotter.
Yep, for sure.
I
No.
just want to say I'm in my healing era. I don't give a damn about CJ talking about we've been healing forever.
She could be
Okay, I'm
on her
healing.
healing era all she wants.
I'm
Mario
healing all 20.
Corners.
I'm healing all 2025. Okay, and a part of my healing
That's
era
cold.
was nurturing the feminine. Okay, that's why I was able to answer that question that way because I
Respect.
had to understand. Okay, maybe you don't know how to do this. Like I had to really pay attention to some of these women for real, right? So my conclusion right now in my healing era is this. I think because black women get that label a lot, and it's unfortunate. Even the ones who aren't, they will just quickly call black women masculine, right? And I do think that's weaponized like a little bit too much. Like if a black woman is just upset, like any normal human being, we're gonna put masculinity on her, you know. So I think we got to be kind of careful. We don't always need to listen to that, but then sometimes there is some truth in why people are saying it. So it's just about kind of, you know, um, identifying who it's coming from. But my point is, it's said for a reason a lot of times, right? So I think this is something black women need to like focus more on, and not for a man, not for anyone else, literally for you. Because like I said, what I noticed with those women is that they have an easier time. Like, so it's not, so don't look at it like I'm not doing this for a man. No, it's really for shit to be easier for you. And so yeah, that's my little TED
Okay.
talk. I digress. Have a good night, people.
I like it. Love. See you back in next week.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I can go next.
Let's go, Scam. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break the news to you. On this cloudy day in Tampa and near Tampa, Florida, a lot of people are in denial. And I actually recommend therapy and rehab. Men love hoes. They do. They love them so much that they're mad. They're in their masculine. They're in their feminine. They're scrambling. They're OnlyFansing. And they're getting on dust panels every hour on the hour, yelling about what these hoes done did to them, how unloyal and all this stuff. They love them. If you want to hear silence, ask for a solution. You'll hear crickets. Or ask, what do you want to do to get some quality women? You'll hear crickets. And then you'll hear raw hoes because they love them. Then they're logging off the computer. They're on Instagram, instastank.com, scrambling to get to these hoes. Then after Slick Dick Jimmy and them run a train, when she's in the parking lot, he's walking up to her, baby, it doesn't have to be like this. I can show you the way. Then she tells him no, and he gets on a dust panel. Whoa, black women's. That's what's going on. CJ is
You landed it. We
Hey
appreciate
man,
it. We love listening.
I'm just
Shout
going,
Scam like his scenarios.
I'm gonna show love and support to the spirits to hope that this nigga tripping fall in that shower, bro.
Anybody else want to get their final thoughts again? This has been a good show, so I don't want to force you to have to say something if it's not really on you. Then this has been a dope show, so that's why I'm doing it this way, round robin. Everybody good? Anybody else want to add something to it? Something new, fresh?
Vegan pizza is amazing.
Oh my god.
You said what pizza?
Vegan.
Nah, that shit did not taste good to me.
It's tolerable.
And CJ is around pigs all day, and that is disgusting and deplorable, but at least he makes money from it, I guess. Whatever.
That's funny. That is a conclusion.
Save all the pigs. Save all the pigs.
I hope you step on
Save
a battery.
all the pigs. Hit the air button, trying to save all the pigs.
Like I'm just sending out just bad fucking juju, all of y'all.
I hope a pig bites you in the
falls
ass.
in the shower. I hope you step on a fucking battery. Like,
oh shit.
I ain't got
I'm
nothing
gonna
much,
get
man.
it.
I appreciate the conversation.
You know who ain't said nothing today? Brittany. She been chilling. Been chilling.
I appreciate the conversation. I do just like we always do. Like I said earlier, what I realized earlier is that we submit to women more than we realize, because we were supposed to focus on the women and we were supposed to get into their shit, and somehow they found their way by being feminine and having a conversation and not yelling and wilding out and shit like that, to somehow still would make us included into their shit, even to a point Scam came out here and made it all about niggas love hoes, so he fell right into it because he loved hoes. So obviously it works with him for sure.
Wait, I got I have a final
Don't
thought.
bathe tonight, nigga.
Bino is a trick. I got him to trick on me for a $2 water bottle.
Dollar water bottle.
Saying it was somehow would be feminine enough to get a water out of me.
I'm officially a trick genius. All right, I'm gonna get all these niggas to trick on me for water bottles. Strata, you next.
She gave up nothing. Nothing sexually was talked
I ain't
about.
Give him nothing. I just asked him.
No
hey,
passes
can you buy me
was
some
made.
Water? He just bought it. You know.
Yeah. So
that was his last $2 too. So.
Last $2. See what I'm saying? So great conversation, guys. You know.
Britt and Mel, y'all good? What we doing?
Oh, I'm gonna just.
You good? What
I'm
you
gonna
got?
just say, women just be always ladylike, but stern when you at work.
I like it.
I
always
like
not.
it.
Shout out to Mel. He be doing pregnant pauses sometimes, so I do want to give bro a chance to finish his thought. But we rock with Mel, man. He the homie. We appreciate you coming up with us, bro. It means a lot to us, man. Like I said, if you free, definitely pop back out on us Monday, man. We gonna get right back to it. Flip this thing on his head. And
I don't care if I got this promotion, boy. I'm gonna make sure I get here on time on Monday.
Yeah,
we get it. Oh my God! You want to have your therapy circle session with the boys? We get it.
Nah, you gonna be there. You gonna be there.
Man, I'm gonna just listen to y'all be therapeutic with each other.
Check.